Hello everyone and welcome to Trackmania Apac Regional 2, also known as the Gaming Boy 2508 Cup. We've got some exciting matches today. We've got more registrations. We've got more competitions going. I'm pretty excited to see what happens today, Senor Gex.
Yeah, I mean, it's great for me as well, coming in for the first time. Great to be here for such an important event as well. Coming on for that 2508 Cup is a great privilege. But yeah, I've been a big fan of the game for a while. Great to finally get into it in a bit of a more professional capacity, I guess.
Indeed. And I guess we should introduce ourselves, you being your first time here. For everyone who does not know me, you should know me by now, but I'm your host, the Thunder from Down Under, your beautiful Australian caster, Edamame TV joining you. And joining me today is a legend in his own right, Commonwealth caster, Rocket League master caster, Gex Cast. How are you doing, good sir?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, Apac is my domain anyway, so not jumping too far in the pond here, and like I said, jumping into something I love, so great to be in the Trackmania world of stuff. Indeed,
you're coming in and jumping head first into the Apac Regionals, where we're going to see some fierce competition. All these teams, of course, are fighting for these TMWT points. We're going to have 7 points for the winner, 5 for the second, 3 for third and fourth, 5 to 8 are going to get lovely 2 points. And anyone in the top 16, which should be everyone, because we've only got 11 duos here, they get a lovely point just to say, congratulations, you took part. Points are good.
Points are good, that is true. You don't get very far without them.
I mean, definitely not. You don't get very far without the points, and the points are what's important. Especially knowing that, like, the top 2 teams who actually get the most points through these regionals will be moving to the promotion relegation tournament coming up, where they have a chance to potentially fight in the Challenger League alongside the top duos over in EU, NCSA, and MEA. I mean, everything's to play for here.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to try and fight for that #1 position, though. I mean, you really, really want to get there. That All-Star event is the most important thing to you. But, of course, coming in below that and trying for that promotional tournament, there's a lot on the line here for those teams pushing up into those top positions.
Indeed. And that's going to be the big thing for these players, where they're going to be moving into those, into those higher seeds, potentially getting their highest spots there. But we are going to be moving into the first match we're going to watch today. A lot of these players do have a bye round to start with because of the fact that we've got an odd number of duos. So not everyone's going to have a game. But we are going to be jumping into Mijiki versus Skux Deluxe. Now, Skux Deluxe is actually one of the new duos who are registered, Bywhack and J-Swag, both brilliant players in their own right. Mijiki, who were the 3rd place in the last regional, doing really well, but losing to LaFish Fan Club, who have now got an org. Someone managed to pick them up, and they are now members of Dynasty Esports. That's exciting.
Yeah, a few new orgs coming in actually, along with Ferox and Antic as well. So some big pickups there. It's really good to see the orgs getting involved. I know part of the reason I wanted to really get into this Trackmania scene in this capacity is because I know how fast this is growing, and the orgs know it as well. So they're getting on board, jumping in and picking up some great players.
Indeed. There's actually been a couple of org pickups as well. So not just Dynasty. Dynasty obviously getting Kimmy and Pixels. Congrats to them. We've also got Ferox, who are a known clothing brand, actually, who have just entered the esports scene by picking up Planetary Goose and Sved, who are top players in New Zealand. So that's a strong pickup for them here in the APAC region. And we've also got Antic Esports, who actually just announced their duo today, where they're picking up Careless Cobra and Kelv Awesome, who are the 2 who played under Bedge last time. So Bedge duo have an org. We've got a new org who have taken a new team. We've got LaFish, who are now part of Dynasty. Lots of really exciting pickups from really well-known orgs here in the APAC region.
Yeah, and as our players start to warm up as well, we've got to get excited about how this is going to go down. So it's nice to see that everybody is kind of getting involved, including those orgs, seeing that gear up everybody as well. It's got to increase the motivation. So I'm sure that this is going to be a bit of a showdown right now.
I do think that this first match is going to be one to talk about for a while, especially Mijiki coming in very strong off the last regional in that 3rd place, taking on a duo who've never taken part. So they may have that regional experience, but will they be able to pull through against Bywhack and J-Swag, both being brilliant, I believe, NZ players, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, New Zealanders.
Yeah.
Flags sitting up there on their scoreboards right now. I'm looking at it.
Oh, yeah. I probably should pull up the scoreboard, but we do have a Russian versus New Zealand duo going on right now. Do you have any thoughts about who's going to win this first match, knowing this?
I mean, I've got to lean towards the Mijiki side as well. The Russians coming in looking pretty strong here, but I think, you know, being that this is still a big push, I think the New Zealanders have a shot in this. Skux Deluxe are definitely not going to go out of this without a fight.
Definitely not, especially knowing what's at stake. They're doing their pick bans now, and the first ban's freestyle, and then Aero pipes. Doesn't surprise me. Aero pipes, one of those tougher maps.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, you know how I went practicing that one.
Let's not talk about that, because I also suck at Aero pipes, but parkour #1. Personally, one of my favorite maps, one that we actually did during the solo clashes we had. It was a really good one, and I nearly got top 8. But Mame's not a good player, and he was out. Reps #2. Reps is actually one of my favorite maps.
Yeah, Reps is beautiful. Parkour was probably the last of the maps that I actually practiced through for the medals. So good to see both of those in. Back and forth now. And Agility Dash, another one of my favorites, actually. I love Agility Dash.
How do you love Agility Dash? The identity...
I love Agility Dash. The identity pleases me.
The identity screws me over so much.
For it.
I could just sit there, do the rest of the map fine, no crashes, be on a good pace. Identity comes in, see you later. Gyroscope being the random pick.
Tony Hawk's going back away. Rail grind the entire thing. It doesn't affect you at all. Done.
Exactly. But we do have a good pick today. We did get a ban of Flip and Faith, which is really unfortunate. Flip and Faith being another one of my favorites. Slowdown actually surprisingly getting a ban. It's another one that we played during the solo clash, and we just didn't have the support for it today.
I mean, surely one of the easier tracks, but that does just mean that the competition level goes up for it as well. You've got to push those speeds if you're going to take that. So I do understand a ban on it if you're looking to complete on a track that's just tougher. If you think you've got an advantage on it, that's probably where you're going to look.
Exactly. But we are about to get started with round 1, track 1, match 1. Everything's #1. Let's get the show started as soon as it decides to load.
Heading in, match starting, Mijiki versus Skux Deluxe. 1st to 10. Let's see how this one plays out.
Actually, we are switching maps, so we do have a little bit of time where we could just sit back and relax. And, you know, now that we've had our pick ban, we can grab ourselves a beverage and relax for a moment. Thoughts about this first match? Who do you think is going to win? Do you think the new duo is going to take it?
Definitely Mijiki. I haven't changed my opinion since last you asked. It's going to be SQLC and Bywhack, if you ask me. You're apparently sitting there in the 3rd player position for that one, so that may drop them a little in my opinion. But
no,
I think Skux Deluxe are going to have to push it here.
I am hoping that Skux Deluxe actually pull through and have some good runs, but in the end, it could go either way. My money is on the new duo Skux Deluxe as we do get started with round 1. I am of the opinion that Skux Deluxe will take out Mijiki with the strength they have as we do get started with the first round. We've got all the players off the start, basically inside each other. You can see the difference in the jumps there, and that's made all the difference as Bywhack is now pulling forward into that 2nd position. We've got Hetone in the front. No, SQLC in the front. He's running a different car. That's really nice. Now I can tell who's who. Bywhack pulling ahead of SQLC as we head into the ice drop down. Hetone actually taking a better line, and that's going to be SQLC going wide, and he hits the side of the road, and that's got to be him out of the race. That's not a good start for these two.
SQLC going way back there. You got to support the guys with that GMB on the back of the car as well, Gaming Boy, the 2508 Cup as well. So one of those way out in front right now. Hetone is coming up that tough dirt section, nails it through there. Does he make the transition right? Does look like he's going to complete this in a good run and a decent time there as well. J-Swag coming in 2nd.
That's going to be really solid for them. Mijiki actually pulling through, Hetone proving his dominance on the map, getting themselves an early victory as well. It is nice to also see the GMB on the back of the car. For those who are not aware, we did lose a member of the TMAO community. Gaming Boy 2508 unfortunately passed a few weeks ago. And so this cup is actually the 2508 Cup in honor of his username. This whole cup is basically a memorial to him to show the competitive levels we have here in Apac. And it's a really sad story, but it's such a nice memorial.
And with such a sudden departure, a lot of these players would have been influenced by that person as well. So it's nice to see his name on the back of the cars. And coming through again, Haytone making an error here, crashing back there. Biwak out ahead on the starting there, but falls well behind off of that crash actually. And J-Swag holding out in first, looking to hold a tie here in round 2.
That's going to be handy for him. As long as he can hold the front of the pack, he's going to deny that another victory. But as we do head into the dirt, that's SQLC who does take a touch on the wall, and he is going to be moving back. J-Swag and Heatone currently in the front, dueling it out. J-Swag hits it cleanly as he gets into the transition. Heatone trying to make a move, and Atleti helps! J-Swag getting that second position. Heatone pulling through at the end. SQLC able to get that third. That was not good for them. Mijiki now get their 2 points.
Yeah, I mean, making almost a third of a second off that landing to get ahead there. Haytone clutches up in the end, and SQLC sitting in third means that they will secure a point over their opponents.
2 points up is a handy position to be in, especially on the first map, which I do believe was Mijiki's pick. This is going to be really handy for them to hold that lead early on and get the first map.
Oh, that's a quick start here from Haytone, getting up ahead, but a nice inside line here will help him to hold it as well. Going in the ice slide now, has to be perfect though, and he has been beaten out. A tap on the back wall as well means that both J-Swag and Biwak out ahead now. The New Zealand squad here of Skux Deluxe coming up very well. They just have to hold for a fairly good lead that they've already got now.
That's going to be really handy for them. Haytone's trying to make the move to push forward, but J-Swag and Biwak are holding too steady in the front. Perfect through the dirt. Haytone's got to make the moves here. Otherwise, it's just GG. It's got to be an ace, and Skux
Haytone's making room.
lead. It's not going to be enough.
Time here with a good finish. There's an error from Biwak, and it is going to be a tie in the long run. Biwak just loses it all in the last moment.
No, that was going to be a good ace for them.
The identity.
But the identity. It's the killer on all of these maps. You can have a great run through the rest of the map. Come across the identity. Haytone, never mind. You can have a great run through the maps, ignoring what Haytone did. You could get to the identity, and you're gone on the identity, and that's GG for the round. Biwak's in the front, though, and he's moving up with J-Swag. We've got SQLC trying to move even into second to try and deny them the 3 points, but through that ice slide, SQLC's slow. He hasn't got the gear there, and that's not going to be handy for him.
Yeah, quite a lot of time ahead now for Skux Deluxe, and they do need this to get out ahead in points as well. The 3-point gain here would put them in the lead in this series, and it does look like they'll be able to secure that as long as there's no dreadful mistakes through this last section. Once again, Biwak, a little bit of a mistake here, does have the speed to make it through here. Does he have the speed for this last jump? It does look like they've secured it though, and it will be the 3 points for Skux Deluxe.
That's going to be handy for them. 1 point lead. And then they've only got 4 points to get. That could just be an ace or a tie. It could be 2 victories. But they are now in the upper seat here to potentially take this first map, which was Mijiki's pick.
Yeah, fantastic ace here. And yeah, Mijiki having the pick here does mean that the weight is kind of on their shoulders to carry this one out as well. So SQLC and Haytone with the pressure on right now, and an early start again here going very well for Biwak. SQLC and Haytone coming up second and third, not far behind.
As they go into the ice side, Haytone's trying to take that inside line. That is clean, but the exit was not what he was looking for. He was sideways on full traction, and he lost that speed. Does not matter.
Transition.
He's currently, first and second, SQLC and Haytone basically right inside each other, and that is going to be handy for them to stop Skux Deluxe.
A little bit of a slow section through the bobsled, and now Haytone making a big error, still somehow out ahead with the reset. Has come through, did need that reset, no speed there, meant he wasn't going to make the next few jumps, but Haytone has fallen way back, and it will be a draw.
That's 3 points for Skux, and they'll get it. They're currently in track point, knowing that an ace will get them there, but SQLC seems to be pulling through. Haytone's making small mistakes, and that's not going to help their campaign. But you can see that SQLC is basically holding the fort and able to stop Skux from just taking this match away from them.
Yeah, I mean, Mijiki have been doing well, but like you said, it's those small mistakes, and we're not really seeing those mistakes out of Skux Deluxe so much, at least not from both players at any point in time. So they've been able to kind of just hold on consistency and then make the points where it really counted, keeping the gains very low for Mijiki. And that ace that they got before is still keeping them in that lead, and despite good ties here from Mijiki, it's not going to be enough to win it for them without a point here. Good positioning here out ahead from SQLC, though, despite that car coming through. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing, man.
He was trying. You can see him going, come on, make a mistake, make a mistake, make a mistake. Nothing about it. J-Swag takes it. Bywhack able to overtake Haytone. That is a tie. 2 points away from taking the map. They needed something higher there, but Mijiki's not looking good. Both of them on track point, though. If Mijiki ace, they take the map. If Skux even get a victory, they're moving forward with that first map win. We are playing best of 5. It does appear that the format is fixed. So we are playing best of 5 as opposed to best of 7. So 3 map wins and you move forward as opposed to 5. 4 map wins, sorry. Can't count.
Yeah, the best of 5 format will definitely benefit the person coming out ahead in map 1 far more than a best of 7. SQLC right now, very, very nice early section here. And coming through, doesn't get the exit right. And it's going to be Bywhack coming out in front. Does he get that transition nicely? Yes, he does. And coming through again here. Good fight for these first 3 places.
It's a very close fight, but Haytone's actually pulling forward. This could be what they need, but SQLC, that clip on the wall is not going to be handy for him, as we do have Haytone and Bywhack currently dueling out. Bywhack nearly took it shaky, but that's still going to be enough. Haytone's moving forward. Got to get that first position. Bywhack second. J-Swag! J-Swag got sniped by SQLC! Oh, that's not good, but we go to 9-9. It's anyone's game.
All right, you brought me on with some promise of a good time here. I didn't think my first cast was going to end. First map on a 9-9 right now. Mijiki versus Skux Deluxe is going the distance. You've seen how many ties they've had. This is a very even matchup. But right now, it comes down to a single victory for one of these teams.
Literally a victory. It can't be a tie. It has to be a victory or an ace for them to take the map. And as we have the start, SQLC gets the slide clean. Bywhack able to overtake Haytone as we do move into the transition. Yeah, Haytone actually lost the angle there, and that's where he seems to have the weakness. The ice slide seems to be what's killing him, but he's able to catch up in the rest of the map and still hold that pace.
Haytone back in third now as well, actually shooting all the way up into first, an incredibly fast section for him, and he's coming now into that identity with a good position into the lead. SQLC in behind, though, means that they will not be able to take this. It has to be a tie, and we're going another round. We're
going into overtime, and overtime is played until we have a victory or an ace. Will we see another 2017? I hope not. I hope not.
I mean, we've seen so many ties from these guys already. I think there's possibilities in this for a little while here. SQLC pushing up now through the pack. A good first corner. Doesn't come out with the speed he was hoping for, but does hold that first place. Can he make it with Haytone in second? This would be a big way to take it out and make a point out of it. Oh, a slow ice section for Haytone.
Haytone, the ice, as I said, it's the one factor that decides the map, because if Haytone was better on the ice, it would be in Mijiki's favor. You could see that with the rest of the map's consistency. And that is Haytone moving to the back of the pack thanks to the ice slide and the transition. Bywhack at the front of the pack. SQLC makes a mistake, but Haytone overtakes this. Oh no! Haytone makes a mistake. Skux Deluxe, all you have to do is get through the identity, and they will take map 1. We still have 2 transitions. And that is an ace for Skux Deluxe. Map 1 in their favor.
SQLC and Haytone had that in the bag early, both in first, second place. They're looking for the ace themselves, and the pressure gets to them. They both make a mistake going into the identity. Bywhack and J-Swag bring Skux Deluxe through for the win.
That is handy for them, and they're going to be moving forward with that map win under the belt into their pick. So they've got the advantage here, having the map that they didn't pick. Literally, Mijiki's like, we picked this, lost the map, and now they're moving into a pick that Skux is going, hey, we picked this. Good luck.
Well, I mean, it was a very, very good round from Skux Deluxe to prove that they can take a map from Mijiki even when it's their pick. So, like you're saying, Skux Deluxe now heading into their own map are going to feel pretty confident about this one.
Yeah, especially this pick. Reps is one of those maps where a lot of it is just making sure you don't get airtime. It's a Trackmania thing. Try not to get airtime, but don't touch grass. Grass is bad.
Grass is bad. It's you will not be good at this game if you're gonna touch grass. That's the rules.
it's the ruling.
I think you ask any Trackmania pro, they'll tell you don't touch grass. Absolutely, like allergies to professional Trackmania players.
I finally understand why people tell people to touch grass, especially now that we're touching grass. But it's mainly so that they have the advantage. It's like, yes, touch grass, while I avoid it and get the overtake. But Biwak at the start here is going to get that overtake. Taking the grass cleanly. He's touched too much grass, and that's my guess.
He has. Right now, it looks like he's gained some benefit out of that grass section. Good slide through here as well. Will keep him in front. Looking back towards SQLC in third place, keeping up with his teammate, but neither of them making big gains on Biwak here. They are looking to just hold this right now to be a tie. J-Swag in behind, still making very, very minor mistakes, just holding him back here. But that's a huge jump through. Haytone and SQLC both making errors. Haytone's going to be able to carry through, but SQLC well behind.
Will he be able to actually make the end? We'll see. He does hit the first one cleanly, and he does make it in the end, but it does not make a difference. 3 points to Skux. That's a handy lead early on.
Very, very handy lead, and carried out really well because the pressure was on them. They weren't out ahead there, and being able to hold that to an ace is very, very good start to the map that they've made the pick on this time.
Exactly, and knowing it's their pick, that's going to intimidate Mijiki as well. Knowing that Skux has gone, hey, this is our map, and getting that early lead, they're like, oh no. Oh, we've got to try and compete against their pick. Good luck. And that's not going to be handy, but Haytone is actually starting off with some brilliant pace. Dueling it out with J-Swag as we head into the dirt. Haytone actually taking the close line. I think the close line is actually slightly slower, but it does set you up better into the drift afterwards, with J-Swag showing he's got the line that he needs and moving forward into that first position.
There is always that argument between the fastest line and the most consistent, and sometimes that consistency will bring you through if there are errors, but right now Mijiki needs fast lines, and Haytone just falling behind right now means J-Swag has a little lead only for a moment, taken back very well. A good section from Haytone as he makes the transition into the final part of the identity now. He's overtaken again. J-Swag in first place, makes massive gains off there. SQLC not quite doing enough to hold it to a tie either. 1 point will go Mijiki's way, but Skux Deluxe continue to form an even stronger lead.
If you saw like what happened with Haytone actually took a wheel off the side, so he was slow on that. SQLC fell off. It just meant that Biwak had to hit it cleanly despite the fact he was behind. And that's where that victory comes from. It's consistency, it's not pace. In Apac, it's if you're consistent, you're going to get the points.
That pace hasn't done very well for Mijiki. We have seen them hit that pace several times. Like you said, consistency just hasn't been there. It's those small mistakes right towards the end of this through the identity that are really taking their toll on them. Oh, SQLC nearly making a major error. Does make it through there. A very tight line.
Very tight line, and you can see him, Biwak trying to make a move out of fourth position, but he's slightly behind Haytone. It's going to come down to J-Swag holding the front. SQLC right there as well, ready to pounce on any mistakes. But J-Swag isn't budging. J-Swag just wants to hold this first place and get himself that victory, or even the tie. Can Biwak pull through and make it an ace?
So much of this map is also just making sure that you get that traction, and that has been an issue here for some of these players. But what is this? Biwak at the end makes it an ace, just coming through. This final part of the identity has been lethal from Skux Deluxe.
That's so lethal. Biwak came in from the back, made a better landing there, SQLC, and said, nah, I'm taking this from ya. 7 point lead on their pick. They're going into track point, and this is looking handy for Skux Deluxe.
This is one of the biggest leads I've seen since getting into Trackmania myself. Skux Deluxe are just looking like this is a confident thing for them.
I mean, yeah. As I said,
Up Oceania, right?
Yeah. I think when you went with Mijiki on this pick, but Skux Deluxe is proving that they're the ones to look out for. Able to take the first map away, and it wasn't their pick. They move into the second map, their pick. Oh, it's their home turf. 7-point lead. It literally has to come down to Mijiki acing 3 times in a row. And at this point, it's not looking likely. Biwack and J-Swag keeping up with Haytone as they do move into the dirt section. It's a close fight, but it's not going to be handy for them.
Yeah. I made the pick on Mijiki. It's pick on the new kid day. The Twitch chat's got my back. They know.
Twitch chat is just going to be like, we love Mijiki. And we're like, nah.
Biwack and J-Swag again looking for an ace to finish this one off. It does look like they might get it here. No! A huge error from J-Swag means that this should be a tie. It will indeed be. J-Swag just looking for a finish here. 10 seconds to do so. And it does look like he will probably make it through here. But it will be that tie.
That doesn't matter. It's a point. They're 1 point off. Mijiki have to ace.
It is 1 point.
This is the big thing. Mijiki have to ace. Anything that's not an ace, GG. We move to map 3. It literally has to be Mijiki pulling through and beating J-Swag and Biwack to get this map. Honestly, it's not looking likely.
Caster curse.
Caster curse.
Gets it. They see it.
They see it. We just talk too much about Mijiki and then
yes,
Skux Deluxe, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, how can the car on SQLC not be winning? Just look at that lovely skin.
Oh, it is a beautiful skin. We got some great skins as well, especially with the new orgs that picked up. We had some of our great skin creators of the game, Leviathan and Tatorna, make some beautiful skins for these orgs. So we're going to be seeing some of the new skins today in some of the matches. So we'll be able to appreciate some fine craftsmanship and hopefully some even better gameplay.
Haytone was able to hold a fairly good lead through the starting half of this, but SQLC had been behind for pretty much the entirety of the track as well. They needed at least win here, and it does not look like they're going to find that, but particularly not with SQLC with the Aero this time around. And that is going to be the win in an ace once more from Skux Deluxe, an enormous victory here on map 2.
SQLC parked up in the pool. He knows there was nothing to do. Haytone went off the side. SQLC went off the side. They were like, we'll give them the map. 12-2 in Skux's favor. 2 maps now, 1 more, and they'll be going into the next round in a handy victory.
Yeah, I mean, gonna 3-0 at this rate, but there is still time to fight back here, as always there is, and we have to see Mijiki make their move now. The Russian side here has shown their strengths at times, but it's been, like we were talking about before, on that consistency that they need to make their moves.
That's not going to be handy for them if they cannot make the moves here. But
tough map too.
Yeah, it's half a map. And we are moving into back and forth. One of those maps that is notorious for having some interesting, interesting lines here. Some of the lines seem super tight. Some of them seem a bit wider. Once again, consistency. Doesn't matter about the lines. It's the consistency we're talking about.
Particularly on this map as well, where there are so many moments for error. J-Swag already showing us why they're right at the beginning. But it is going to be Haytone and SQLC out in front for the first section. A wide corner from SQLC, though, might just cost him that. He does have the speed to regain here, pushing through with a great bug slide. Can they hold this? Haytone and SQLC looking very good, but the speed is there from Biwack, making back that second position.
That's going to be handy for SQLC. Biwack's actually moving forward to try and hold it over SQLC, and this is their pick. But Haytone proving why they've gone for this pick. Way in the lead, able to make his way into the identity quite comfortably. SQLC getting an overtake there as they head backwards through the identity, back and forth being the fun identity, where it's super tight lines backwards.
Yeah, this corner, that one there, that right-hander, very crucial as well. And as is that finish, a bit of an error there from SQLC going up the pole, but the finish is there. J-Swag coming in behind, and it will be Mijiki to take their victory.
2-1 in Mijiki's favor, and they know that they have to fight even harder on this map. If they lose this map, it's GG, we move on. But Mijiki is going to be fighting to try and make it 2-1 at a minimum. They're hoping to get the victory in the end, but if they can't get the victory, they want to at least move into a new map. But off the start, Biwak is actually getting a clean line. Moving in on Haytone, but SQLC right there as well. Trying to make moves. Haytone is way up in front right now. Do we think that Biwak will be able to catch up?
Biwak definitely has the speed, but there is some distance to cover here. Great jump and a bit of an error here will be recovered very nicely by Haytone, actually. Biwak still chasing and now doesn't have the speed to make it up.
That's not going to be handy for him. J-Swag is right behind Biwak. SQLC had a brutal crash, and he's had to move back. But Haytone, holding himself steady in the front, he could just get a tie at this point if he can just get through this identity clean. Biwak and J-Swag have so much more to fight for, knowing that they got to overtake Haytone. But with a line like that, 57-5, just for fun, gets himself the win, and that's going to be another tie.
That is an incredibly quick time from Haytone, chasing PBs here as SQLC comes through. A little slower than that, 9.2 seconds to be exact, and it's going to be a bit of a difference between the two, but a tie nonetheless, and Mijiki hold their lead.
That's not a good start from J-Swag. Had Nelly Bonk, SQLC.
Again, really, too.
Yeah, not a great start. Haytone, Biwak in that second position, knowing he's got to try and take Haytone, but Haytone's consistency here is insane. SQLC able to overtake. Biwak and SQLC are just dueling. Haytone's just going for a fun drive. That's what I'm saying.
Whose map pick was this? Because Haytone is a master of this map as far as consistency goes. And once again, going in for this backward entry, gets that spin in perfectly and has so much speed through this. Haytone is the only one even attempting that right now. SQLC backing him up, looking for that ace. There isn't quite the distance between him and Biwak there was last time. Biwak actually making his way through right now. Oh, but a huge mistake. SQLC should be able to make this back, but he's made a mistake as well. J-Swag actually being able to make a bit of a catch up here, but Haytone has taken the victory position.
Biwak made a mistake. SQLC made a mistake. SQLC still able to hold it over Biwak. That is close. That's a 0.3. But that's still a victory for Mijiki. 2 points ahead, and that's going to be handy knowing that they still have to fight for this. I will say that this is Mijiki's pick, so it's their stomping ground.
J-Swag does make it through the opening reversal there, the transition, serving him well finally. I gotta say, if this was a pick from Skux Deluxe, I would avoid it in the future unless J-Swag just has some more consistency on that start.
It's that start. It's literally just the start for him. Haytone is able to just get through all this cleanly, while J-Swag and Biwak know they've got to fight harder. J-Swag on the start, not his game.
Not there either. J-Swag not able to pick up on some of the strats being used here by Haytone. SQLC not far behind now, and this is looking like a very, very good run for Skux Deluxe. Can they make it through the identity without the error this time? SQLC following that up in second position, and it does not look to be that there can be any moves made from Skux Deluxe this time, as it is an ace from Mijiki coming through.
No, it's not. Haytone made a mistake. Biwak and J-Swag able to pull through, make it a draw. It's still 2 points, but Haytone, that mistake was brutal. Knowing he was good on this map, he's the number one to look for on this map. And then a mistake like that at the end just cost them the potential ace.
Yeah. That's crazy to see it come there out of that player as well. It looked to be a confirmed ace, and I spoke too soon. But sure, Twitch chat is once again going to be calling out Caster Curse, but it's Skux Deluxe still in it with a chance, only 2 behind. An ace could do them very, very well.
An ace could be handy, and we do have some results from the other matches. Ferox, Planetary Goose, and Sved that we were talking about 3-0'd the non-training duos, so that's going to be a handy victory for them. That is nice for them, knowing that they just got picked up by an org, a brand new org to the esports scene, and surprise, surprise, 3-0'd them. They're moving forward.
Well, right now, looking for a 3-0 for Skux Deluxe still, but it's not looking good for this one. Haytone now still leading up once again. SQLC now in second place, and it does look like the ace this time around, putting Mijiki in match point.
Skux are going to be sweating now, knowing that they have to double ace to win this.
Yep.
Or they'll just give the map to Mijiki. Anything from Mijiki, it's GG. We do also have the results. Juice Gaming 3-0'd Rotor, which was Boeing and PRL. So Juice Racing were able to take that out 3-0 handily.
Nice to see those results coming in. Some very, very strong results for both of the winning sides of those. When we have to see how they match up against each other maybe later. And right now, though, Mijiki looking for their first map win does mean that Skux Deluxe has some room to spare this map.
Look, at this point, SQLC could probably drive this map entirely backwards and still manage to get themselves the map win because of that lead. But we do have Biwak trying to fight for that position as well. Hato way in front. Biwak's going to make some moves, and Hato's just going to make a mistake. He's just having a great time, you know. Just driving backwards through the identity. Look at this clean. He's got speed, he's got finesse, and he's got the first place. That no!
That doesn't matter. It's a win, and they only needed a tie. SQLC actually taking out first place. We're just talking about the consistency of Hato, and he makes a mistake at the last possible moment of the map, but they take it anyway.
I take that back. Screw speed finesse. He messed it up. He's gone.
No respect for him anymore. Doesn't matter that he PB'd every time on that map. He's terrible because he made one mistake. I see how it is, Adamame.
No. I still respect him after seeing the way that they performed against LaFish, who are now Dynasty. I knew he could do well, but that was just hilarious. I'm like, speed, finesse, crash, gone.
Yep. Yeah, that was pretty perfect timing on his part, but Mijiki, once again, still behind on that count, so Skux Deluxe one away from a victory, but it does mean something to Mijiki that they've at least taken away even the possibility of a sweep here.
That is not going to be a sweep for them. It is going to be something to something. It's not just going to be 3-0 once again, but we do have Agility Dash, Skux's pick. Agility Dash, one of those maps where it's all fast-paced. It's all about keeping those lines consistent, keeping yourself grounded, and then everyone's favorite identity at the end, which, look,
I like it.
I can't back it up. I'm sorry, but Agility Dash is good for the players who are actually good.
Got my back.
Good on you, Tony. We appreciate it. But at the start, J-Swag is going to be currently in the lead. Biwak in that close position. Hato currently dueling with Biwak, trying to stop Biwak from getting the ace here as we do head into the full speed section coming up. It's more speed fun than full speed, but the speed you get out of here is 600. So, you know, it's pace.
Yeah, it is definitely high pace, and then bring it through here, getting a nice line through this corner as well. It really is about holding that pace from here. Haytone losing a tiny bit there. May just lose this on J-Swag as a result, but they haven't hit the identity yet, and that is going to be the toughest part, obviously, here. Getting that speed through. Nice section through the ridge here as well can often make a big difference to how you make your way through into that. The slow grass there makes a huge difference if you have the pace to make it through that. Now coming into the identity, it's a good line from Haytone, but he's not making it up on J-Swag, and SQLC well behind. Biwak still has the chance to make an error, but he is making his way now through the identity, and it looks to be Mijiki is going to be taking a loss here in the early stages of this map.
I love that you were talking about hitting the identity just as SQLC hit the neon and he was out, then hit the side of the jump and he was out, and then just could not recover at the end. It does mean that Skux is going to be a point ahead on their pick, and Mijiki are going to be sweating at this point.
Now coming through Biwak. Coming through with good speed. It's a mistake though, the line, and SQLC is going to be able to take a place up front here, looking for J-Swag now, as J-Swag does make a little bit of an error here. It tells SQLC to lead it up, looking for that consistency again this map out of Haytone. He may be able to yet make this up for an ace as well. Coming through the plastic section, not too much turning, not losing any speed through there. The bollards now, and turn in.
That's not going to be good for J-Swag and Biwak. After taking the first round, they're now behind, and Biwak has got a lot of catching up to do as we do head into this uphill drift. J-Swag, such a clean drift, able to get the overtake, but doesn't get the inside line, has to overdrift here, and means that Haytone could potentially catch up as we do head closer to the identity. I'm not going to say hitting the identity. We saw what happened last time.
Oh, Such close lines from Haytone. Like you said, though,
Oh,
we saw
no!
what happened last time. SQLC out in front was the one making the most errors in this identity as well. So he looks like he's made it cleanly in turn 1 here. An ace is secured for Mijiki in a very clean fashion. And J-Swag made an error there that has cost them the map.
It hasn't cost them the map just yet. We've got to keep in mind.
The round, sorry. It's costing the round.
Yeah, I mean, the map's still to be decided. Skux had a good round. Mijiki's had a good round. If we keep this back and forth going, I mean, Skux is going to take this, but that was not good for Skux. You could see there, it was just clean through the identity. SQLC and Haytone have practice on the identity, which is handy. Bywak and J-Swag might have practiced offline, but they don't have as much practice as Haytone and SQLC. So it's all down to who can hit that cleanly. One mistake and it could cost you. And it could be big, especially for Mijiki.
Yeah, I mean, Mijiki, they may not have won the map out of that. I misspoke, but they have secured a lead here on the map so far. And they were one behind before, so it was a very, very meaningful ace, particularly at this point in the map. And now coming through, J-Swag continually fighting for that first place position, but this is a much, much more heavily contested, at least through the midsection of this map.
The midsection seems to be the deciding factor with these guys, because at the start you could have Bywak, who gets himself a good pace, and that makes a mistake through the midsection, and that's going to mean that SQLC is able to push a bit forward. But the identity's usually just to decide to make sure they have that consistency. It's definitely a test of, do you have the reaction time to get across it, or are you just going to fall down and potentially throw the round? But J-Swag getting through that line cleanly. SQLC actually takes the air time on the penalty grass, and that's faster because you don't get that penalty loss, and that messes up the identity. J-Swag did. J-Swag did too.
Yeah, J-Swag did as well. Haytone has taken the lead here. SQLC can make it a victory as well. He just has to make a finish here, and he will do so cleanly. Bywak actually way at the back now with some big errors. May not make it through the identity at all. In fact, he will not. And it's going to be a victory for Mijiki.
I don't care what you say about Tony Hawk. That identity is brutal, especially after some of the ones we've seen, like, reps is kind of hard. Yeah, you just got to get the right lineup, slow down. Oh, you got to brake a little bit more. This, good luck. You're doing agility dash. That's all it comes down to.
Look, I'm just happy to be in an esport where the age bracket of a lot of the people watching are going to know who that is. Tony Hawk.
That's true.
Coming in here not knowing, it's a 90s thing. It's all right.
Wait, Tony Hawk, isn't that scientist guy?
That's the one.
That's the one. But as we head onto the plastic section, Bywak is actually way in the lead. Remember how we said the middle was the fighting section? Bywak's in the lead, and all he has to do is hit the middle section cleanly, and he's going to have that pace. J-Swag losing a bit of speed, having to brake to make it through the CP. That's not going to be handy.
Bywak by far out in front here with a very good lead. Haytone actually making some really good pace up. He may be able to take this back with a good line through here, running near identical now to Bywak. SQLC pushing through with some massive speed now as well, but does overshoot that corner. It will come down to the identity here again. The ridge not going to slow SQLC down. Some really good transitions through there. Should give him some advantage through the identity as well, but it's a clean transition from both him and Bywak. Makes a mistake. SQLC is going to take out the victory, and it's an ace from Mijiki. They are shredding this map.
This is going to be a turning point for Mijiki. They're going to be going 2-2 when it comes to maps, and it's going to come down to that random picked gyroscope. And we don't know who's picked that. It's literally random. It could be anyone's game, but Mijiki are winning this handily. They're going to move forward with a 2-2, and it's literally going to come down to gyroscope to define these players.
Yeah, believe the new guy now. How's Mijiki looking?
Look,
coming through with some strength. Come on.
I will eat my words on this, especially seeing Mijiki's performance on the last map. They're doing well on this one, even though it was Skux's pick. Look, okay, maybe I'll take my words back if Mijiki wins map 5, but I'm holding steady for my New Zealand boys. I want to see them take it out, but at the start, it is looking like Bywak and J-Swag. They know that they could get the ace here. SQLC losing a bit of speed on the plastic?
I had to say it. I'm bringing back the curse already. It's just, it's instant. Here we go again. SQLC and Haytone making their way through towards the front of this pack, but it is so tight now. This is anybody's. It may once again come down to mistakes through the identity, and so far it has been Mijiki to have the consistency through that section.
Yeah, it's all about that consistency as we do head into the knife edge. Funnily enough, this is actually a reference to one of the previous the Trackmania Grand League maps that was called Knife Edge, and it had that same identity on a much grander scale. But this is the identity we're talking about. Haytone is holding good pace. J-Swag making it through cleanly. It's going to be Haytone able to hold it over Biwak. That's a victory. Sorry, that's going to be a draw for them. Doesn't matter. It's Mijiki's map. We move into Gyroscope.
And it is a map win off of that consistency again, even being able to hold that consistent pace for a draw here shows that consistency in Mijiki once again. They haven't been able to show it in every map, and that's where Skux Deluxe has come up big with their 2 map wins. But now we go next map wins, first to 10, what's it going to be?
I still want to hold steady for Skux Deluxe. You know, I want to see them do well. They're the newcomers, especially to the regionals. Last time, as I said, Mijiki managed to make 3rd place. They beat LaFish Fan Club in the first round, sent LaFish to the lower bracket, but LaFish swept the lower bracket, got to the end, and beat Mijiki to get themselves into the finals, and that's what gave them the 2nd place. But Mijiki are proving that this is why they were 3rd place. They've got the consistency and the pace there. Maybe not early on, but they were able to recover it. And this map, we'll just have to see how they go.
Gyroscope. This one doesn't stick in my head well, so I'm going to have to watch this through a few times to see how these guys go at getting that consistency out again. It isn't one of the hardest maps on the set, and I do think it may actually come down a little bit more to the pace this time around, but still that consistency is so crucial.
I understand your point, but I would tend to disagree. The map focuses on lack of grip. The fact that you got to go through an ice loop with reactor, and then you're trying to line up on plastic up onto a dirt jump. And if you mess it up like Haytone did, you're out of that, and that's going to be Biwak and SQLC dueling it out. Suddenly, giant ice slide. You know, if you're not good on ice, you're not going to have the pace on this map. I'm all right at ice, but, you know, the other parts of the map screw me over. It's great.
Biwak actually making time on SQLC's beautiful run through there, but Biwak screwing it through the dirt a little bit there. That mistake not going to cost him too much, but now through the identity, we go again, going for the consistent run with the full 360 through that. And Haytone coming up the back as J-Swag makes his entry in. It will be a tie.
That is going to be a dead tie. 2 maps, 1 round, 1 point each. It's dead even. It could be anyone's game, and I think that's the excitement of this, is that this is the random pick. No one's picked it. It's just the game's gone, hey, have Gyroscope. Let's see who's more consistent on the ice, on the lack of grip, on the tight lines that you have to hit on some of those slippery surfaces. Good luck.
Well, luck is going to have to benefit somebody here because there is that consistency factor. Like you said, the ice into plastic, kind of curse surfaces, both of them. Newer to the game than obviously concrete, which is where most of the time is going to be made up outside of the mistakes as well.
Oh, yeah. Especially on some of those other maps. If you're a better tech player on some of those maps, you're going to have a great time. On this map, you got to be good on your dirt. You got to be good on your ice. You got to be good on even on plastic.
Oh,
the only moment where you actually have grip is just before the ending, where you suddenly go into no grip and you have to spin across the boosters.
Oh my
J-Swag!
J-Swag! Massive move towards the end there. A clutch up victory over Haytone at least, but it is still a victory for Mijiki, who have snuck ahead by 1 point.
Yeah, we got to get the bell ringing. That was an illegal wallbang there from J-Swag, though. He tapped the wall with his wheel to straighten himself out. That's an illegal wallbang, folks. Get your alarm bells ringing. We'll have to see if that's a decider or not, but it's that identity. If you don't hit the wall, like, you're doing well. I always hit the wall on that identity. I mean, what can you do?
Saw him coming through there as well, and he had more pace than SQLC, and that is absolutely massive there You've got to see what the judges are gonna say about it, but yeah, definitely there are questions.
We did lose Hato. I believe he may
entirely lose Hato.
I think he had some connection problems. We will be putting the match on pause after this round, just to make sure that Hato's all right and his internet just didn't fry. We are doing a quick pause while we sort that out. So now's a great chance to talk about the fact that the winner of this one will be moving into that higher spot. And that's going to be really handy for them. At the moment, it could be anyone's game.
Especially with only 1 point between them right now. Mijiki ahead doesn't really mean all that much when it's only 3-2. And we've seen Mijiki make really big moves in map number 3 particularly. But we know that the consistency isn't there for them on all maps. Being that this is the random pick, it's really going to come down to which of these two teams has the consistency.
Yeah, and in the end, it's interesting to see how. Oh, I just noticed. I'm watching them screw around on the map while we wait. J-Swag just clipped through the floor.
Yeah, he found a hole. That's
he found the hole.
He found the hole.
It's
the
little
gap.
things like that.
He's going for a dragon yeet.
Getting out of the map, fling to the end.
There we go. Yes.
We do see. It is interesting, like seeing some of these maps and knowing that if someone makes a checkpointless version or a reverse version, you're gonna be seeing like dragon yeets. You're gonna be seeing bug slides. You're gonna be seeing interesting reroutes. But in the World Tour, there's no cuts. There's no wall bangs like that. You basically got to play the map as it is, and that's where you see the real consistency from these players who have learned the maps in the proper way and not just run around like a maniac.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting to see those little tricks and stuff come through and make their way into the more mainline maps and stuff. If you're looking across at some of the maps, I can't remember which map it is right now, but the one strategy of bouncing off that little snow pillow straight into a speed slide through that section is absolutely beautiful. That's the sort of thing that is discovered by players who have these little trick skills. I love seeing that make its way into the mainstream.
I love seeing it, especially with identities where it's intentional. Like, we got Slippy Slides, which has bug slides.
Yeah, I know.
Bug slides are literally one of those things that you don't expect to work, but as soon as you do it in game, wow, you can bug slide. And it's such a unique mechanic to implement into these kind of maps. Especially with the gyroscope identity as well. You're going reverse over a booster.
Yeah. And there is the potential to do that 2 different ways as well, either doing it with that huge rotation for the consistency, or you can go over with that. If you can get that completely sideways, you gain so much speed out of it. You saw that clutch up just a moment ago.
Indeed. And we do actually have the bracket. I do have it on my phone just to make sure, because I want to focus on you guys and I want to make sure you guys are here, but I've got it on my phone. We do have Vobi, who will be moving into the next upper bracket round. The winner of this will be versing Vobi in the next round. So we could be seeing Mijiki going against Vobi, or we could be seeing Skux Deluxe, the brand new duo, coming to compete with them. We've got Asia Overdrive and TMWT India, who are going to be playing in the next round. Antic Esports, brand new duo announced. That was Cobra and Kelva, who are going to be competing against Ferox, thanks to that win in their round. Dynasty are going to be versing Juice Racing. And we do have, in the lower bracket, we've got non-trained duo, Rotor, and whoever loses this game will be moving into that lower bracket. So we've got some great matches coming up today. I'm excited to see especially Vobi and potentially even Mijiki going against each other once again. Yeah,
absolutely. I think that lower round actually is going to still be quite competitive as well. I mean, you can see how well both Skux Deluxe and Mijiki are doing right now. Whoever goes out of this is going to have a fair run ahead of them, I think, in that lower round. And they're only 1 away from qualification anyway.
That's got to be really handy for them, especially if you can get that win. You're going to be having harder fights in the top. But if you go to that lower bracket, you're going to have easier rounds and maybe even sweep your way through like LaFish did. LaFish lost in their first round, were able to recover themselves and get to the grand final. They weren't out of it entirely. They were able to recover, and that's a strength of them. Knowing that they're now Dynasty, they've got an even bigger thing to go. We're like, hey, we're the runner-ups. We're the guys who are in Dynasty. We're going to play harder.
Plus, they've got that org backing now, so you've got to push, you've got to represent. Same with Ferox, same with Antic. All these new orgs coming in, and the ones who already had orgs. You've got a name behind you. You've got to push for that.
Exactly. Like, if you got a name behind you, you'd be like, oh, I've got to play even harder now. For some people, they have their like clans and teams that they love to play for. Obviously, we've got like Asia Overdrive. We've got Kurz, who are some lovely clans we have here. But an org is huge, especially in the Apac scene.
Plus, we're coming into this very special cup as well. I'm sure a lot of people are pushing just to rep as well as they can for Gaming Boy. The 2508 Cup is a bit of a special occasion.
Indeed. And just to catch up chat, because that's actually a really brilliant segue. For those who don't know who Gaming Boy was one of the top in the Asia region. He was one of the first players to distinctly go, yeah, he's the top of the region. He was winning competitions. He was high placements as others. Like in AOTC, the competition we run here in the Trackmania Asia O scene, he played in all 6 of the AOTCs we ran, and 4 of them he got top 4 placements, which is solid. It means you're a good player up there against some of the pros we have, like some of the really good players we have here, like Kuda.
Yeah, really crazy. And plus, a bit of a greeter as well. He was a mentor to many coming into the competitive scene. So, it's definitely a sad occasion, but it's also happy that we get to commemorate him in this way.
Indeed. It is sad that we've said goodbye to him, but it's nice that we can celebrate him with the fact that this is the 250 Cup. We're doing this in memory of him, and we're not leaving a sour taste with it. It's a great memory. We get to see great Trackmania against great Asia and APAC players, basically. We've got Eastern Russia here in our match, but a lot of Asia O's players who love him and love what he was as a player and as a friend, more so. We get to celebrate that and see some great Trackmania. What can go wrong?
And you can tell he had some of those. You've seen the cars, you've seen the GMB on the back of some of those cars as well. Everybody wants to rep this guy because he was so loved in the community. So give it up for the 2508 Cup for Gaming Boy 2508. And look, we hope we get back into this. The time has been given to Mijiki. It's going to be very sad if they can't get that player back. Going out 1-up in this final map as well. Could have been taken out before now by Skux Deluxe, of course, but Mijiki have fought their way to this point. They deserve that chance. It's definitely a shame that there's been this disconnection.
It would be really painful knowing that they've had this consistency up until this point, able to bring themselves 1 point ahead of Skux, and then losing because you've had a player with internet problems.
You do not want to lose the chance to reverse sweep, and right now with even the advantage towards it.
Exactly. But in the end, like, the game's got to be played, and, if it means that we'll see Mijiki in the lower final, they'll fight their way through. We'll see them coming up later, but we'll just have to see what's going on soon. For now, we are just, relaxing. Get to see our wonderful faces in somewhat HD, depending on the quality you watch it here on Twitch.
See how well I'm coming through Edamame's internet connection. Maybe there'll be another disconnect soon.
Look, you're coming through pretty cleanly. I think I can count at least 100 pixels, so that's a good sign.
Wow, 100 of them. That's pretty good.
At least 100.
Look, if the problem is that if we get any more than that, we start losing viewers. They get scared. So.
Look, if they see your face in HD, we're gonna get terrified. But
yeah, there's actually it's Twitch bannable to have my face fully displayed on screen.
Oh, I'm just waiting to see. No, you can't run this cast. Gex's face is on there. That's exactly. Just no.
It's like DCMA issues. The wrong music's been played. My face just gets cut out of things.
It's more like GMCA in that case for the Gex side of things. At the end, other people also watch me cast. I've casted a bunch of other events for those who watch maybe AOTC. I did the Fast Point stuff as well, so they know my face. And the fact that they tolerate me for this long has got to be something.
I doubt many people would recognize my name, but probably the only chance you'd have of seeing my name up on any of the leaderboards or anything would be if you are playing the reverse or the checkpointless campaigns, and even then only since last season. So look, I'm pushing my way through, Edamame. You've got to give me some lessons at some point. I still haven't authored 21 yet this season. Please help.
21 is hard. For those who don't know, 21 in this season was actually a recreation of one of the greatest Trackmania Nations Forever competitive maps called Hockalicious. It was played in the Esports League there. and it was a recreation with mixed
Beautiful name.
surfaces. So by not getting author on that, you haven't gotten author on Hockalicious either.
I know. It's a deep shame of mine. I'm 0.3 away. It's not far.
Oh, that's even worse.
I can make it.
If it was 0.5 or something, I'd be like, yeah, look,
I got a
hard.
0.7 gain last night. All right, we're making it there. It's happening.
We are making it there, and it's definitely, this is one of the best seasons we've had with the maps in the campaign. They're all really well designed thanks to the new blocks that are being introduced. We've got neons, we've got glowing shapes, we've got like awesome glass roofs. So the maps have improved in quality.
Awesome,
and that's a really good thing.
If you're looking at any of the advanced campaigns where people are doing stuff like roof jumps, the roof has really interesting designs to it and have been used very interestingly this season.
Yeah, but we do have the result from this game. Unfortunately, due to that disconnect, Mijiki have to forfeit out of that. So Skux gets the win, moves forward to be versing Vobi, and Mijiki will have that fight in the lower bracket to try and crawl their way back. It's really unfortunate to see it go like that because they were going so well.
Yeah, they really were. I mean, Mijiki came back from what looked to be an easy win, maybe even a 3-0 by Skux Deluxe. They were denied the full sweep, and Mijiki looked like they might even be able to get the reverse. So Skux Deluxe are going to win it by a bit of a default. I'm sure it's not the way they wanted to take this out either. Every team wants to earn their win, but Mijiki, they are going to drop down there.
It's going to be sad for them, but we will go on a quick break while we set up for the next one because we've got to make sure all the players are connecting. We don't want a Mijiki situation happening again, but stick around, folks. We will be back with the Trackmania Apac Region 2, also known as the Gaming Boy Cup or the 2508 Cup. We will see you guys coming soon. And we are back with the Trackmania Apac Regional. We are just about to move into the pick ban phase for this match. It is going to be Antic Esports versus Ferox Industries. Ferox being a new competitor in the esports scene, essentially, and Antic picking up Cobra and Kelva. So we've got quite a good match going here. First ban's Agility Dash. Why?
Oh, yeah, just after you complained about it, why? Why are they banning it? Probably all the reasons that you said too, right?
Look, all I'm saying is why, because it's your favorite map, and Slowdown got banned. We have a parkour pick straight out of the gate once again. We love parkour. Parkour's great.
Parkour can be tough though. It's definitely a good map, but just the demand through that dirt section, we saw so many errors, and even the speed that can be made out of just getting a better landing than your opponents onto that final platform of the identity. Very, very good map, but can be tough on that consistency front once again. Exactly. Slippy slides. Oh, I'm so happy to see Slippy slides.
So am I. Bring out the bug slides. That's what we're talking about, folks. We want to see those bug slides. The mechanic we were talking about before, that you don't expect it to work, but it does. And we're going to see it coming up as we do have Team Blue being Ferox picking their next map. Who do you think's going to win this one out of Antic and Ferox?
Oh, Antic and Ferox. I mean, both being these new org pickups. I'm leaning towards Ferox, but I really don't know here. I mean, obviously I'm coming in as a fairly new face anyway, but so whatever I had to say would be taken with a grain of salt. But yeah, I would only just barely be leaning towards Ferox anyway.
Look, I would tend to agree. I'm hoping that Ferox can pull through. We've got literally some of the best players in New Zealand in Ferox with Planetary Goose and Sved. And I think they're going to pull it through with map 4 being freestyle. They're going to have it handy, so I'm going to put my money there on Ferox to take it. Antic are good, but I don't know that they could hold up against Sved and Planetary Goose.
Yeah, I do think that there's an advantage, and Ferox is known for picking some great players. They are newer to the esports scene, but they certainly, as individuals within that organization, know it deeply. So they would make their choices very, very wisely here. And but I don't doubt that Antic were very prudent on their picks as well. So I am keen to see what Antic can do to fight back against our predictions.
I mean, they could prove us wrong, but this is going to be interesting with two brand new
Aero pipes, random.
Aero pipes? Oh, dear. Pixels is going to have a great time if he was in this match, but it is going to be, it's going to be basically a close fight with two new orgs to the Trackmania scene. It's going to be org versus org, and that's the stuff we want to be seeing in our regionals.
Oh, we have to see the matchup. And again, I think we're still looking towards the consistency, not necessarily the pace, particularly with some of the hard map picks in this one as well. They're going for tech here, so you have to have the consistency through that tech.
Exactly. And with that as well, we do actually have logos for these orgs as well. So we're going to be seeing the awesome Antic logo and the Ferox logo there as well. This is exciting. This is one of the first matches we get to cast where we have two orgs playing with two org logos. That is really, really cool.
Yeah, I love Antics. The Antic Wolf is a brilliant little logo there. And coming in against Ferox, like you said, that industry brand there they do a lot of merchandising and stuff. I think direct competitors to the shirt I'm wearing, but we'll ignore that.
Look, in the end, they're a great Australian company that do nice jerseys and stuff for these teams. So Dynasty is actually having a jersey done by Ferox. Antic having a jersey done by Ferox, you know. Ferox is there doing the clothing and supporting these orgs, and that's one of the big things as well. We might say it's org versus org as we get started with this round, but in the end, it's everyone supporting each other here in the APAC region.
Absolutely, particularly when you look at other esports, looking at minor regions as they're sometimes called, you do see that support coming through. These players learn from each other. They really do their bit, and look at this. Look at the coordinated cars as well here out of Ferox.
That coordinated cars out of Ferox and out of Apac there. So we do see the pink cars there for Antic and the black and yellow for Ferox. So it's literally black car versus pink and white car. You can see it at a distance to see how everyone's going. Goose currently running away with the lead right now. Sve trying to overtake Kelva as we move into the identity. Clean landing from Goose. We've got Kelva there holding steady. Comes down to the end. Will Sve be able to overtake? No, he's not going to be able to. Still a victory in Ferox's favor to start this out.
Absolutely crazy fast run out of Planetary Goose there as well, 56.9. It wasn't so much the speed that shocked me out of that, it was the consistency. There were no hints that an error was even possible to come out of that.
I don't know what just happened, but I saw Kelva go off the side of the first jump. So that's not looking good for them. Sved and Goose are currently in the lead right now with Kelva trying to fight and break up that ace. But that's not good for Cobra. He's out of it very early on.
Yeah. Cobra is really going to have to fight this now. A good ice slide might get him sometime back into it, but realistically, he's hoping for a big mistake here. Heading back up to Kelva, though. Kelva's really fighting through this pack, and if he can get out ahead, he might be able to secure at least its high here. Does manage it for a moment, but has to make that dirt ramp perfectly. It's a little bit slow now through the identity, and that speed is so crucial here. Has to get this landing perfect. Might just have it. There it is. Kelva snags it with a 0.012 lead on Planetary Goose.
Oh, that was close, and that's going to make the difference there, stopping them from expanding their lead. It's still a 1-point difference because of that first round, but you can tell that these players are starting to warm up on this map, and we got close. Kelva just missed the ramp. First Cobra, then Kelva. Goose
just wins it by 12 milliseconds and then slams himself off of the first jump. That is brutal. Kayla's Cobra now with the job of turning this into a tie.
Look, if Sved can catch up and overtake Cobra, it's going to be an ace for Ferox, but first Cobra did it, then Kelva did it. Are we going to see Ferox do it?
Ferox has had some consistency, but they haven't had the speed to win it outright since that first round, so maybe they'll have it here.
Look, I guess we'll have to see, but Cobra is keeping up good pace just behind Planetary Goose. It's coming down to dirt, and
there's a
Cobra,
wheel touch.
That's a clip, and that's going to be Sved able to move forward just behind Goose. All they got to do is head it steady. Goose is taking the jump. Sved's taking the jump. Sved barely makes it, but that's enough for an ace. That's going to get them up 6-2 in their series. Cobra takes the rough landing.
Cobra,
no! Kelva able to overtake, but that's going to be an ace for Ferox. It didn't matter about the ending, but damn, that's not going to be good.
No, Antic have shown their capacity to aces as well. Both Kelva and Careless have had front positions in the track at times. Careless, my goodness, nearly does it again. What are they doing on this first jump?
Trying to risk it. You know, if you go wide, you can get yourself a better lineup, and that helps you through the sausage jump. But the risk there is you miss. You just fall off the ramp and it's gone.
It hasn't meant anything. There's been such gaps between the players by end of track that is not necessary.
Look, in a match like this, when you have players of this caliber between them, they know that Sved and Goose are some strong competitors, so they're trying to take every millisecond possible. If that means fixing the start and trying to get it really risky, so be it. But with an ice slide like that, it's not going to make a difference. Goose and Sved currently in the lead, Kelva overtaking as we head up the dirt. But those two are just holding steady. They're not needing to risk anything. They just hold their lines cleanly. They get through the ends. That's a clip from Cobra. Kelva? Where's Goose?
Goose had to do the full reset and use the booster to get his finish. And that is a huge loss there for Goose, meaning that there will be a draw here, but Cobra really should have been able to catch him on that.
Yeah. In the end, it is going to be a draw between them. 3 points for Ferox, and they'll take the first map. This is an ace for Sved and Planetary Goose, and they just take the map handily.
Well, now, again, taking those lines in a little bit safer this time, but also a much more even start up here. Except for Planetary Goose, he has been the most consistent on this track so far. Despite not winning every round, I think if you play this out the way he is, you are going to get the majority of the points by the end. You will win with that 10.
as I said, it all comes down to the consistency. Yeah, you can try and risk for certain spots, but if you have consistent driving and keep a solid pace, you've got to be taking these rounds. And Goose is just holding steady lines at the front. Cobra's trying to move his way forward, but Sved is right on Cobra's tail. We've got Kelvin right there as well. This is actually a really close fight as we do head up the dirt.
And now that we are seeing these issues come in, Planetary Goose makes the first big mistake I've seen out of him and has to reset here. And it does mean Kelva can get in front and take out possibly a win here for Antic. As long as Careless Cobra can make a finish here, he may even be able to make it in second. The ace is possible with a good landing here, and he might have just done it. Oh, that is so close. But Careless Cobra comes in last place.
You could see the fight at the very end. Cobra and Sved both had to respawn, and Cobra was trying to pounce on that, but Sved had the better landing, and that's what gave him that tie as opposed to the victory. 2 points now for Ferox. This could be a victory in Planetary Goose and Sved's favor. And we move to map 2, but Sved makes an early mistake, and that's not a good sign.
No, but I mean, even a tie here, draw here, is pretty positive for Ferox at this point. Every point towards that 10th is going to be positive for them, even if they're giving the same amount to Antic because of the amount they are ahead right now.
That's not good. You saw a mistake from Goose S. Sved is trying to make his way forward, but Curls, Cobra, and Kelva are now taking over, showing the consistency. All they got to do is get through the identity. They can even safe it, and they're going to be taking that ace, and we're moving to 8-7. It's and then a closer fight. Yeah. Look at this consistency.
It has been safe, but this is the consistency. Like you say, it comes down to winning rounds, not winning the map, not the rounds. Sorry, you really need to find that 10 points, and that is the most important thing here.
In the end, that consistency is the difference between potentially, losing the round because you try to go for a risky strat and just holding yourself steady. Ferox just have to get a victory here, and you could see that they didn't have that consistency and a mistake was made. But in the end, Goose and Sved at the start are ahead, and Kelva is trying to push forward. They know a victory at ace and Ferox take the map. And it's all about, do I want to risk knowing I could push forward and potentially stop that victory? Or do I just sit back and just take it safe?
I don't think that Antic will take it safe this time, and Careless Cobra nearly makes a massive mistake there. It is going to cost him a little time, but it is recoverable. If it had been a pixel further left there on that transition, this would be over. But Kelva also in behind here. Planetary Goose and Sved are looking at an ace. They're trying to take this out in a big fashion here, and it looks like they're going to do so. Ferox Industry takes the lead, 11-point ace here to Antic 7, and they win the map.
That is map 1 in Ferox's favor, and that's got to be a good sign. Both of them new orgs, and straight away, Ferox is like, we're not playing around. Keep in mind, Ferox's duo is also a new duo. It's Planetary Goose and Sved who weren't able to compete in Regional 1. So they've come in against Careless Cobra and Kelva, who got, I believe, 4th last time, and gone, nah, we're not playing. Take map 1, and they're going to be moving forward into their pick. Keep in mind, we are moving into Slippy Slides.
I have to say, though, a good fight back by Antic there as well. They could have gone out looking a lot worse in that first map. So now Antic have shown their capacity to take a map here, and Ferox are going to have to keep that in mind.
It's all going to come down to, on this map especially, the bug slide ending. You get both bug slides clean, you're basically safe, and you don't even need to do it faster. You just need to hit both of them. There are points where you can, not get enough spin, get too much spin and stuff like that. The rest of this map is, once again, a low traction map. You've got an ice bobsleigh ride on a transition early on. You've got a section where you're, going through the water and then you're into the grass. There is low traction, and it's going to come down to who could slide better or who could stop the slide better.
I mean, there is wet plastic on this track. That is not an acceptable surface. I'm just putting it out there now. Not an acceptable surface.
That should be a swear word on this stream. We can't say wet plastic. Don't touch grass. Just, no wet plastic,
Never
please,
touch
no.
grass, no wet plastic. There we go. Rules for Apac Trackmania. There we go. But I gotta say, I am a huge fan of this track. Most of the tracks for the World Tour campaign I played through to get a silver, and that's about it. I did play through this one until I could just get the bug slide ending consistently, because this is just so much fun to me.
It is a lot of fun, and
beautiful.
we had some...
Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, come on.
Cobra! Oh my goodness, what an ending.
110-1 is a solid time to start with. And Planetary Goose and Speed had early mistakes, and Goose is he going for 360? No, he misses the 360. He had to go for the star points at this point. See you later, out of the stadium. But wet plastic, can someone just get a plaque made of that just says, don't touch grass, ignore wet plastic, please?
Yes, yeah,
Wood carved, I'll pay for it. You know, I just want that so I can hang it on my wall.
It needs to be behind the stream at all times. Even if we're in game, you need a little extra webcam setup just to be aimed at that plaque at all times.
New Trackmania merchandise, don't touch grass.
Exactly.
In this case, Cobra might need to touch the grass better, as he's currently a fair margin behind. Kelva currently holding the front of the pack. Goose trying to fight his way into that top position, but with that drift, he's going to move into third. Speed is the one going to be moving up. As we move into the grass, they have to touch this grass. I'm sorry. It has to be done, but Kelva taking a bit of sand, and that's going to slow him down. Goose is able to kick wide, move himself into first. Cobra is making his way forward as well as they get into this bug slide, which I might add is so difficult. It's a sloped bug slide.
Yeah, it's really not easy, and does create an enormous amount of speed if you can do it right. Now Kelva looking to snipe this with the final bug slide section. Does nail it, and the 360 in. Kelva takes it out. Sved is going to follow that up. Planetary Goose, then Careless Cobra, ending in a draw, and Antic is still ahead by 3.
3 points is a major difference early on. Like, 3 points is an ace. And Ferox know that they have to ace on this map against these two to even catch up. Like, 3 points is handy, and especially with such a low scoreline, going to only 10 points, you know, every round counts. You can't just throw around. You have to get those points.
You can't win a map on draws alone, and Ferox have only earned their 1 point off of that draw, so now they need more. Right now, Planetary Goose looking good for it. A fairly decent lead here over both Kelva and Careless. This should be an ace if they can just hold their lines. Play this fairly safe.
Ooh. It's all going to come down to safety, but Careless Cobra is making his way forward. Kelva just hitting the engine off, hoping to take it better, but Goose and Sved are basically inside each other. They can just keep that pace. It's like synchronized swimming, as I described on the previous cast.
Oh, beautiful turn from Planetary Goose.
Yeah, beautiful from Goose, bad from Sved, but Kelva's was not that great either. It's got to be Sved trying to push forward to take over, but that clip is not going to be handy either as they move into the bug slides. It's literally going to come down to, can Kelva and Cobra hit it first try? Or will they be giving more points away as they all hit the first one? Going into the second one, Sved has to take the respawn. That's a tie.
Yeah, that's a brutal way to take that tie as well. Where is that consistency? Ferox only needed to save that. They were seconds ahead of their opponents there. They could have saved every single corner in the course after only a few, and they would have had that in the bag for an ace.
Yep, they could have had it, but unfortunately, the nature of this map is like the last third is just difficult bug slides. And that's where it's got to come down to, you know, driving the rest of the map safe, and all of a sudden the difficult section comes in. It's not even the identity that's the issue at this point. It's the corner before it.
Yeah, I know. The identity hasn't been a problem for anybody realistically so far. Not at a point that it mattered anyway. Only for those in last place at any point in time. Seed makes an amazing early corner there. That little hairpin early on the map can make you so much speed if you can take that early, but the timing has to be perfect. And now Speed and Planetary Goose out in front as a result of that early moment in this map.
That is a good move. Okay, I was going to say it was a good move from Sved, but Sved was just like, nah, I can't have this. I can't have the caster's curse, not allowing it. Failed before I could comment on it. Therefore, Goose is going to be moving forward. Kelva goes wide, and he does take a minor clip, but he's able to recover. Goose is getting through this cleanly. 1 slide, 2 slide, into the finish. 110.
Speed, still a chance.
Sved's still a chance. He's catching up to Cobra. It's going to be the snipe.
Oh my goodness, it's so close.
No!
Speed is behind by nothing there. Just didn't have the speed on the second bug slide, but my goodness, that is about as close as you can make that.
That's not good. That was so close, but you could see Sved had to go sideways on the booster, and that's what cost him. It could have been a victory, and they could have closed the gap, but in the end, GG, it's 6-3.
Oh, Antic doing so well through this, just on that consistency front once again. You see that early corner there that has been such a crucial thing for Ferox to nearly make their victories and just haven't been able to pull it out in the long run. Right now, Planetary Goose still leading up for what would be at the moment a draw, but Speed making his way through now, trying to turn that into a victory or even an ace, but a big error from Planetary Goose picking up that penalty dirt.
That's not handy for Goose, but as they do head into this bug side, you can see Kelva actually taking a bit of extra braking just to make sure you get the reactor, but Goose is able to push his way forward. Sved right behind as well. This could be the ace they were looking for as we head into the slide.
It's the one they need.
Kelva's trying to make a move as well. Come on, Kelva. It's going to be interesting as we have Goose way in the front. Kelva goes for the snipe.
Oh my goodness, Kelva!
That's what we need. It's going to be a victory, not an ace. 2-point different, not even.
Yeah, it would have been a dead heat if Ferox had pulled that off, but that second bug slide has been a thorn in their side. Now 2 rounds in a row, and Antic continue to pull their lead up towards that 10 mark. The lead has shrunk now. Ferox within distance to take this back, but they need an ace.
It's literally coming down to an ace. If Antic can ace it, no worries. We move on to map 3. If Ferox ace it, they're back in the fight, and it's got to be a close match, knowing that a victory from Ferox could spell the end of this map for them. But Planetary Goose currently ahead right now. Cobra's making moves to try and push forward. Sved in that third with Kelva right behind. Doesn't take the penalty dirt, so takes the clip on the wall though. That's going to cost him as we move into the plastic slide. This plastic slide's so brutal.
Yeah, you've got to get that early transition onto it as well, so that you get that booster early and get that big swing around on that. Like you said, very tough bug slide on a sloped surface there. Now going into the final corners. Speed nearly makes a big error here. He does take the final one early, but it is that second corner again costing them an ace. They do get a victory and they bring it closer again. Antic only 1 away from losing their lead.
It's literally a victory for Antic or an ace from Ferox decides this map, so they know what's at stake here. If Ferox wins, they go 2 up in the series, and they're going to be handy going into that third map. If Antic wins, it's going to be 2 more maps at a minimum, so they know they're going to have to fight even harder to try and stop that, as we have the start with Goose once again taking the early lead. Got Cobra fighting for that top position, but Speed is going to be making the moves on Cobra, trying to push forward. Kelva unfortunately making an early mistake, and that's going to be him a bit further back, but maybe able to recover as the water comes up. Sved actually able to overtake Cobra onto that upper surface. This is actually a really close fight at the top.
Fast.
That's fast.
Now, Planetary Goose losing a position here though, which means they will not be able to take an outright win on the map if they take it this way. Planetary Goose needs to make this an ace if they want to secure this right now. Either way, they would make their way into top position. But Planetary Goose is fighting this tooth and nail. Needs to get nearly a perfect bug slide finish here though. And this is a fast one early. Does he get the second for the snipe? No, he does not. And Keller's Cobra even sneaking in to make it a draw. Antic are 1 away.
They're really wanting to push this map as far as it could go. We are going on to round 8, and it's 9-8 in favor of Antic. This is as close a fight as you could ask for.
Yeah, this is absolutely brutal, down to the wire here. The last series we did see a 9-9 in the first map, and we're almost seeing it again here now. Planetary Goose and Speed coming up with awesome first corners. That's the one I'm talking about. That early transition in there can be an enormous speed save over the length of this map, but Planetary Goose making all kinds of mistakes. Somehow, Kelva and Careless multiple seconds behind.
That is so close for the two up the front, but thanks to early errors, Kelva and Careless are going to be so far behind that they need to hope that Sved and Goose make chronic mistakes for any chance to catch up.
I mean, Ferox have had this position before. They're almost exact same timings, and they threw it away with it not taking the safe line. And it looks as though they have learned their lesson now, though, and they are letting those times close in a little bit, actually gaining on Kelva there, who's making more mistakes as we go through. But Antic, 1 point away from their win, look to have choked it up. Ferox are coming up big, coming through for the last corner, and that is it. They are going to take it out. Kelva, it does take a second position there, but it is going to be Ferox.
Two maps in favor. Oh, wait, overtime?
10 to 10.
No.
Overtime.
It's overtime.
Overtime again.
I thought that was going to be 2 maps. That's my bad.
Yeah, I thought it was as well, but no, sorry. Ferox just makes their lead back.
Look, maybe we'll see the 17-20. I am hoping we see the 17-20 on this map specifically. But hey, anything can happen. We've seen it before. This map is just... It's a close fight between these two as we head into the dirt.
I mean, it was a guaranteed ace again. Ferox twice in one map. You've given away a guaranteed ace to chase down times. Ferox, you had that in the bag. You need to take the wins when you've got them.
Yeah, I mean, if the win is presented to you on a silver platter, would you take it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that could have been their second map there, and then against Antic, who have been objectively better across this map for most of this. And now Kelva trying to snipe this back. Careless was out in front for a moment. Now Planetary Goose making his way. There is nothing in this, though. It is going to come down to the identity again into these bug slides. Slippy slide proving its name here. Does Planetary Goose get the second corner? Yes, he does. Backwards he goes through, but it's a tie. And Antic and Ferox go again.
That's 11-11. That's a good start for this, but it's not good for Ferox, knowing that they've got to now win for their chance to move forward. Ties mean nothing. You could make it 11-11. You could make it 30-30. The victory is what counts.
That is not found yet in our second round of overtime now. Ferox still not able to clutch up, and Antic holding what used to be a lead to a tie now. Either of these teams come out with a victory or an ace on top of this map.
Yeah, anything's possible at this point, but we do have, once again, the two Antic players behind Goose. If Goose can keep these slides consistent, we're going to see a similar situation to what we had in the match with Troller and I believe the fake Americans, I think they were called, the Canadians that were playing, because that was the 2017 match. And that was where it was literally one person up the front, just winning and keeping it consistent, and the other one at the back of the pack. But that corner's not going to help Goose as Antic makes a move. Still anyone's game.
Kelva, if they can hold this, should be able to take their win here, but looks like Planetary Goose back in front. Sved is behind by some margin now, though, and it means that they have to secure a tie here. Planetary Goose looking good for it, coming around this final corner again. Great bug slides, comes in backwards once again, and does secure that tie. Round 3 of overtime secured.
12-12. It's going to keep going, folks. We love to see it as we move into the next round. If Goose can just keep this consistency, we might be seeing a 17-20 scoreline, but who knows at this point?
Coming through now, some more results as well. Vobi IDN has just 3-0'd Skux Deluxe, and that is a big result there when we saw Skux doing very well earlier.
Yeah, Vobi, as I said, #1, took the win last time. Some top players in the Apac region. I was expecting that, to be honest. Vobi is one of those top competitors. Skux were good. But keep in mind, you're going against Spark, who's the top Indian player right now, and Kuda, who's one of the top Indonesian players right now. I mean, what are you going to do?
Well, if you are Antic, you are going to be chasing up. That's what you're going to do, because right now, quite a decent lead from Ferox. This might be it for them. Both of them making the bug slide uphill look easy as they come around. Planetary Goose does lose a little bit of time here, but Kelva still a fair distance back, means that this should be Ferox. Once again, it's gifted to them. Do they screw this up in the last moments? It looks to be that this may be the win, but Planetary Goose is taking his time. The second corner is not his. It will be a victory though, and Ferox Industries finally, after 3 rounds of overtime, will take it 14-13.
Look, it's not a 17-20, but we still take a 13-14 in favor of Ferox. That's 2 maps for them, 1 more, and they're going to be moving forward in this upper bracket.
Second map had to be clawed back, though. I mean, they were at some deficit for a while there. Antic only just losing their lead as they hit 10 points. Literally the moment they would have won, it got tied up, and that sent it into overtime for 3 rounds. Ferox had to learn their way through that map.
That's true, and the fact that I believe it was Ferox's pick means that, like, the first map, which was Antic's pick, they were like, no, we're taking this from you. Ferox were then like, this is actually our map, and they just had to claw their way into the victory. It seems like the picks are swapped for some reason.
It does. All day today, that's been the case, I think. And that's a big error in the warm-up. Let's hope that we do see some consistencies on back and forth here. We did see quite a lot of errors on back and forth, even in this very first turn here, hitting that margin early. Does look like we are going to get through cleanly in our first round this time.
It's going to be a better start at the start of the first round. On back and forth, we did see back and forth before with Mijiki, able to take the map out thanks to Hetone's consistency. But Sved and Goose, we haven't seen on this map before, and currently Goose is well and truly in the lead. Kelva's trying to fight his way forward as we do the ice slide. That 360 is actually faster than just landing it normally. Even though it looks stylish, it's actually faster because it gives you the straighter lineup. But Sved took the slide poorly, and he's going to move to the back of the pack and pray he can catch up during the identity, as we now have the identity for all these players. Goose is currently in the front with Kelva and Cobra with a margin there. Sved's trying to push for every second possible, getting these corners as tight as possible, risking everything. Gets to the better ending and able to overtake. And that's going to be a victory in Ferox's favor with a very, very clean run by Sved.
Yeah, Sved sniped, but not by a small margin either. Gets a 0.7 lead over Careless Cobra at the end there, and really, really shows that Ferox looking to come up big in this one as well.
That's going to be really handy for them, and especially they're
Sved.
going to... Sad. I was about to say that they were doing well, but I can't say that now. Kelva's going to be pushing forward instead. Whoever wins this, by the way, will be going against Vobi, so they've got a terrifying matchup. The question is, do you want to fight through that upper bracket, knowing that one of these teams will be versing Vobi? Or do you just want to take the loss, go to the lower bracket, and potentially have an easier run? That's the question.
Yeah, you're not going to throw it either way. If you deserve to be in the upper bracket, you're going to take it. But yeah, there are definitely easier options once you get past this point. Right now, though, these teams still just fighting it out. That first corner has been a bit of a pain. Both times we've watched it, it's because it's taken so tightly. Yes, you could safe that a little bit more and guarantee your way through that, but it does guarantee you so much speed. You build off of that first corner. Careless Cobra, just at the last moment here, taking it out for Antic, with Kelva coming in third.
That's going to be handy for them. Getting that victory is going to put them at 3-3 each. And that's going to help Antic's case, knowing that if they lose this map, it's GG.
Victory.
Oh, 3-3 now. Antic climbing back to bring this even. Ferox has a fight on their hands here, as much as they were looking good early. Antic now looking great here as well, after one mistake from Speed in round number 3.
Round number 3, it does appear that Cobra's a bit in the back, and Kelva seems to have that consistency on the start, which helps them potentially towards the end, but it's the later half of the map that seems to make the difference, as we have Goose and Sved able to take a better line on that. Kelva's going to be pushing into that first position, getting that ice slide, gets a 360, but has to take a slowdown. Sved's going to be having more pace as he heads to the next corner. Goose has a little bit of a lead, but will he catch up? I'm guessing we'll have to see. We do have results from the other match, though. Dynasty 3-0 to Juice Racing. So Dynasty able to get that there. Sved assigned airtime. He took it sideways, and that's not going to be good for him. He's now floating down.
He's giving this one up, I think.
That's unfortunate for them. It's still not going to make a difference. It is going to be a tie, but that's really bad for Sved having to take it like that. He's just driving it forwards. He's like, look, I've lost. Look, we'll take the draw. But, that's really unfortunate.
The booster as well, backwards on booster is actually faster. You have more grip going backwards, so you can take those corners at higher speed. So again here, it is going to be a tie. It could have been another win for Antic had that not happened though.
Indeed. It's like
Ferox, sorry.
Yeah, it was Ferox, and in the end, like, it's keeping it at an even pegging. Oh, just had a round skip. Okay. I believe we're in a pause right now for that question mark. I don't know, but we are going into a quick pause. It is still even pegging, so we'll just have to see how it goes with this. You know, I don't know. Just have to see.
Looking at the possibility of some action here, unfortunately, and that last round just costing a lot here. This is absolutely brutal, and Antic might be in with a little bit of luck. It's been a good close competition though, so we have to see what if we get to go ahead on this one. Certainly would be a shame to lose another one. Ferox up to Matt here. They can afford to lose one.
Oh dear. We'll just have to see what's going on. It does appear that a warning has been issued because it is a bannable offense, because technically it is a cut if you take the booster the wrong way. If you don't have that reacted down and you're heading backwards, it is classed as a cut and it could be a bannable offense. But we believe the warning has been issued to say do not do this again.
Yeah.
Sved did slow down. He did say that he did slow down, and it was... basically,
it is not faster.
No, it's not faster, but it is a warning on this occasion to just not do it again. Sved did slow down knowing what happened, but basically, he moving forward, we cannot be having that, and that seems to be what is happening.
Yeah. It didn't look to me as though Speed actually intended to take that line and was probably just having a bit of a joke around after that point, the accident occurring. But yeah, he's been made aware of it now, so we will be continuing and we won't see it again. So that is going to be clean racing from here on.
Look, we just pretend that round didn't happen. We just move on and just pray that everything goes to plan with Sved and Goose currently at the front there. As we do have Cobra trying to push his way forward. Kelva currently inside with Sved as we do head into the ice. Oh, sorry, the plastic. Why did I say ice? Ice is later. We're about to hit the ice. Look, wet plastic is ice. That's all I'm saying.
That's, yes.
When water freezes, it's ice. We move on.
It's ice without the ongoing effect on your tires. That's all.
Oh, yeah.
Now
sure.
Speed. I truly believe that's why it was put in, just to give you an option to put that in a map without the ongoing effect. It seems practical to me, but who knows?
I mean, who knows at this point, but it does appear there was a mistake from Kelva, and it is going to be the Ferox team currently up the front, left and right. They made it through cleanly. It's an ace for Ferox, and that's 3 points away from taking out the match.
Speed making an innocent error at the end there, almost cost him that second spot, but did make it through for that ace, and now Ferox out ahead once again. They have looked good for this map, despite Antic being able to even up.
Evening it up was like a good move for them. They knew that they had a chance. Now Ferox are like, nah, we're not playing anymore, and able to push their way forward. Right now it's actually Kelva in the front with Sved in that second position. They know that they've got to just deny the ace at this point, but if they can't make sure that they've got aces, Ferox is still going to get points and claw closer to taking out the series. It's just, let's just hope Planetary Goose is able to push his way forward.
That's a huge ice section from Speed. That 360 has been brilliant. And now Planetary Goose in behind needs to make a position to turn this into a win. Careless Cobra is holding him off at the moment. Everybody now backwards into the identity, coming around first corner over that off block. They will not have the power behind them now, so they have to carry this through backwards. Careless Cobra can't do it though, and does lose his position. Now Planetary Goose coming through. It will be a tie though, because Kelva able to snipe it in the long run.
It was a bonk there from Sved, and it does mean that it's only a draw, but still 2 points for Ferox, and they're going to take this out. We do have results from the other matches as well. Asia Overdrive managed to 3-1 TM New India, so that's a good win for Asia Overdrive there, being Spider and Starlight, who are brilliant Singapore players.
Now Antic looking for probably at least a victory and an ace here. Obviously, ideally, they would just ace all the time, but right now, Ferox out in front is going to be problematic for that. Kelva closest in behind, very close in fact, has to nail this though, and it is not exactly perfect. Does maintain position behind them. It may come down to the identity once again.
It may come down to the identity, but currently Goose and Sved, first and second, all they got to do is hit the identity cleanly. Everyone getting the correct boost. All they got to do is get through it cleanly. Kelvin making a small wheel off the side. That's a little clip, but it's not enough to put him out. But Goose and Sved just, look at that, so clean. Able to get through. All they got to do is get into the finish, and they will take the match.
That's it. Ferox doing a very clean job of it here. 5-11 is going to be the scoreline here, and Ferox making it look good.
Yeah, they made it look good. That was a really clean round from those guys. The beautiful Ferox cars there. Congratulations to Ferox for taking out their match. That was a really close fought match in the end, but Ferox took it. My prediction was right.
Yeah. And we got to see it through to the end, so that's always nice, getting that screen up there. Planetary Goose and Speed do take that out in a very, very lovely fashion. Once again, New Zealand players coming through tops and really showing us what Oceania is made of in the Apac region.
It's a really good sign, especially new to the scene, new to everything like that, and coming in and getting themselves their first match win is going to be handy to show their dominance. So we'll see how they go in the future rounds. We'll have to just see what happens. But we are going to go on a quick break, folks, before the next match. So go and grab yourself a glass of water and stick around for the rest of the 2508 Cup, also known as the Trackmania World Tour APAC Regional 2. are back with the Trackmania Apac Regionals 2, also known as the 2508 Cup. We're going to be watching one of the lower finals, one of the lower matches now. We're going to be watching Trackmania New India and the non-trained duo, which is Divyansh and Noimad. I don't know how this match is going to go.
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough one. Both of these teams did get 3-0'd in their earlier series to drop them down here. So they should be at similar levels to be appearing with us right now. Neither of them has teams made from a single region. So we're going to see these interregional teams now from across APAC lining up. And I am keen to see how that works out as a result.
Indeed. We do have Noimad from New Zealand, and we've got CTHN from Japan. And then we've got two Indian players there. Both of them very respectable results in their competitions. But as we get into pick and ban, Slippy Slides and Flipper Faith both banned out of the gate. Why are they picking the maps I like?
They're hating on the tough ones, I guess. And then they pick parkour. They've lost me.
No, they've lost me. Gyroscope, an actual pick from TM New India. What an interesting pick, to be honest. That's I don't know.
I do like the parkour pick. Don't get me wrong. If you're brave enough to outright pick parkour and not just get it as your random, you better be good on it though. And parkour has been tough for the teams that have picked it so far. Aero pipes as well. Do these guys want hard maps or don't they?
I think if they could do well on the maps, we're going to have some great content. But I think they want us as the casters to have content by picking some of the hardest maps there. I'm calling it now. Agility Dash is number 4. Watch it occur in 3, 2, 1, there.
Oh, no.
Come on.
No, I'm not
Agility
going
Dash.
there.
Come on, Agility Dash.
Just off the map.
Oh, slow down. Never mind. Okay, my Agility Dash pick was wrong. But we still have some great maps there. We've got parkour, gyroscope, aero pipe, slow down, and it's looking good.
We're looking at mostly tech maps, except for slowdown. Looking at the high speed there.
True. I mean, gyroscope isn't too techy. There's like one drift. There's one corner you drift, and then the rest of it isn't really techy. Slowdown, pretty techy for the identity. Aero pipes is just one of those hard maps. Parkour, very techy once again. We do have a ban of reps, which it hurts me, man. I love reps.
Yeah, reps is a fantastic map. Slowdown for me, I don't know. I can't classify it as a tech map. I know that you do have that. I mean, the slowdown, that's why it's called that. But for me, it is all about just momentum conservation on slowdown, and that makes it a pace map for me. It is an interesting one. Obviously, the way you do save that is through tech, but there's so much variety in these maps, and there we go. There's the last one picked.
Yeah, back and forth was a ban by the other team, and then Agility Dash picked randomly. So we have probably the 5 hardest maps in the campaign right now, other than Flipper Faith. And people just don't pick Flipper Faith. You got to pick it more, folks. Flipper Faith is such a good map, great identity, lots of fun. I don't know, man. Yeah,
I'm really looking forward to aero pipes on this one, and watching the guys do the aero pipes. That's gonna be fun for me. It wasn't fun to do, but it's fun to watch.
Yeah, exactly. Aero pipes is one of those ones that we have seen Kimmy and Pixels take some good rounds on, and then lose the first regional.
Anyway,
literally,
it is fun to do.
It is, but when it came down to their pick, they were winning all their runs all the time. They got to the final in their regional against Voby and then lost the map.
Team New India versus the non-train duo heading into our first map. Who are you expecting to come out on top of this one? I am slightly leaning towards Team New India.
I'm torn. I don't know these players well enough. Like, I've casted all of them. I know them for the most part. And we do have Divyansh, Noimad, CTH, and Scorpion, all pretty respectable players in their own right. I want to go in TM New India as well. I think that Noimad will have the consistency there. And Divyansh is one of the top Indian players as well. So I think Divyansh will be able to pull through and get the result we're looking for. But in the end, who knows?
CTH could definitely surprise me on this one as well. So going through the warm-up, seeing these guys kind of nail that first corner. We did see some errors the last time we saw this map on this first jump here. So we're going to see that risk again. CTHN tries for that line, but does safe it out and ends up getting the fastest line through the first corner anyway.
The fastest line through the corner is going to hold him up the front there, but Divyansh is pushing through. You can see the pace there. Also rocking the Asia Overdrive car. Such a sick car design. Scorpid and Divyansh currently at the front. The Indian duo dueling it out. Scorpid's actually going to hit the ice slide a bit slower. Divyansh is able to pull ahead. Neumad in that third position, trying to push his way forward. CTHN unfortunately making a mistake on the ice.
Oh, Scorpid.
Scorpid makes a mistake too. It's going to be Divyansh and Neumad fighting it out at the top. CTHN barely making the jump, but we do head to the front with Divyansh and Neumad. These two, all they got to do is get through the identity clean in. They're going to have an ace straight out of the gate.
Now, Scorpid has put himself well out of this one, more than 10 seconds behind, but this battle up the front, Neumad cuts it through at the end. I mean, it's teammate versus teammate, but Neumad snipes it from Divyansh right at the end. CTHN and Scorpid suffering on the first map.
That's not good for them, especially first round on the first map against these guys, and they just aren't able to finish. It's literally a double no finish, and that is not a good start for non-trained duo. Maybe because they trained, they'd actually be fine.
That hadn't happened?
I don't remember if it has happened. That's the first I've seen that I remember, though.
Yeah, the double DNF there early. This was Team New India's map pick, though, right?
I believe it was, TM New India's pick for this one.
So they should be coming out on top. However, non-trained duo definitely need to take this on, or at least show us why they should be taking maps from Team New India on the maps that they have picked.
I mean, if they pick the maps that they're good at, you're going to see the good results. And that's why there's the picks. Like, some people do ask about a pick ban phase. Why do they bother banning some maps and picking some? It's literally to have that advantage over your opponent, even if everyone's learned the map. You pick the ones that you're comfortable on. You can learn 3 or 4 maps quite comfortably and take out the regional.
Time.
Exactly.
You've got to put that time into the map to be good at it. And some of these players have been practicing for months and months, and they will have put the time into their favorite track. So those are the ones they're going to pick.
Exactly. Like, I know I put a lot of time into a handful of maps, and if I got into the regional, I'd be picking those maps. I know I'm comfortable on them, but I got to pray that they don't ban them.
Well, there it is. There's 2 points for non-trained duo. NTD coming through, looking like they do have that power after all. It was just a bad first run.
Yeah, as stated as well, looking at the name non-trained duo, they started training this week. They needed more training in their tool belt, but on this map, it is 4-2 in TM New India's favor, and they've been practicing, so that's handy.
And all of these teams picked some pretty tough maps, though. If you've only been practicing them for a week, that's brave.
It's so brave. I wouldn't do that. No.
Now, Neumad coming through for the transition in first place. CTHN well behind once again here, but Divyansh now gets a good early transition. He's got to have some speed to follow this up, but he's well behind. Scorpid already trying for the jump. A huge error up the dirt ramp, though, is going to hold him back. And now Scorpid in first place. Neumad, in first place is going to get that finish. Scorpid in behind making errors as well. And Divyansh is going to make it an ace once more for Team New India.
That is not good. You can see the error from CTHN, and now they got 4 seconds to finish. It's going to be another double no finish. That is not a good sign for no trained duo. They probably should have had the training in there.
Yeah, Trackmania New India is up by a lot now. This is looking like a very confident first map.
They're good. That's all I'm saying. New India, all they have to do is ace, and they take out the first map in a 10-2. That's such a significant margin. I have yet to see, though, a 12-0.
Yeah.
That would be something to watch.
It is the ultimate scoreline. Divyansh, what a line through the ice slide now. Coming out first by quite some margin here from a single corner gain. Divyansh can push this through, really cutting these corners narrow, but he's doing it consistently without making those mistakes that would pull him back.
Yeah, it's definitely handy for them to be that far ahead. CTHN making a lot of early mistakes. Scorpion able to keep up, but it doesn't matter. Divianch and Nomad at the front. I was going to say looking like they're about to ace, but Divianch made a mistake. It's going to be a victory instead of an ace if Divianch can get this finish. CTHN
still a chance for CTHN. It's a decent chance. It might actually be a DNF for both here. CTHN out in front will actually just barely make it out as the timer ticked to 0, and it's going to be a draw as a result.
I was literally going to say, oh yeah, it's just going to be an ace, but then Divianch messed up, was unable to finish, and that means that it's going to be 8-3. Not the 10-2 we were thinking, but damn, it's going to be a close fight. You know, TM New India's got to fight even harder to make sure that non-train don't get the points up. Non-train know they've got to get some aces on the board. They've got to start fighting hard, and Scorpion's mistake there is not going to be handy for that. We have Nomad trying to make the move on CTHN, but takes the ice slide poorly. Divianch with a small clip, and that's going to be CTHN able to move into that first place position. Nomad trying to fight it out with him as we head on the plastic into the bobsled. It's going to be Nomad taking the bobsled so much better, making that move into first place. But with a slide out, it's still a close fight as we head into the uphill. It's going to be, Nomad getting the clip. Divianch able to follow through. CTHN is going to be in the front. If he holds it cleanly, this is going to be handy for them as they head into the identity. It's going to be Divianch able to make that second jump, and it's going to be good. But Nomad just need to get the finish to get that point one step closer to taking the map.
Absolutely awesome run by CTHN, though. That is by far the cleanest run we've seen out of him, and it had some pace to it. CTHN showing us why he is in a team here looking to qualify into the All-Star event.
I mean, the All-Star event is going to be tough, and these guys know that if they're going to go to the All-Stars, they need to be practicing hard. Yeah. So TM New India, comfortable, able to practice, get their stuff in. Non-trained duo need to get some training under their belt if they've got any shot of trying to make that All-Star event or even the promo relegation tournament coming up.
Yeah, CTHN, I mean, if they do really only have that couple of weeks of practice, though, you've got to respect being able to take this track this cleanly, but you can see why there would be those consistency errors there. You can also see the potential. CTHN, if he can do that after that amount of time, imagine when he gets that consistency.
I mean, if you're able to, like, not really practice and still take a map away from people who practice, it's a sign of skill where you can be like, I can learn these maps in no time at all and pick them up this easily. It's literally down to, you know, hitting everything cleanly, and it doesn't matter in the end if you know, might be 3 seconds slower off world record in this region. As long as you can get through it cleanly, like Divianch did, that's going to be a victory for New India. That's going to be the map. And we move on to map 2 in a comfy position for TM New India.
Yeah, speaking of getting through cleanly, TM New India coming up with an awesome track win here. First map down and 2 to go if they want to make this a sweep. We just saw 1, and we saw the potential for 1 earlier that was nearly a reverse. So do we have the potential for 1 more here? We will find out by the end of this map if it's possible.
Indeed. And keep in mind, this match matters. If whoever wins gets into the single elimination bracket, whoever loses, out. Say goodnight. You don't have to play anymore. You're just going to have to go to bed early, you know?
Yeah.
But round 1. Let's see how we go on Gyroscope. We've seen some good rounds on Gyroscope. We did have the disconnection in the previous match on Gyroscope, but let's see how we go here with all the players getting a clean start. We do have a bit of a lag behind by CTHN, being 0.2 behind, but it's not much of a difference. Scorpid actually able to get a clean line. Divianch getting a little bit of airtime, but he is able to recover into the thing. CTHN is able to get through it. I just called the ice loop the thing. Like, you just don't think bobsled loop.
The thing. Here we go.
The thingo.
I would love to get through the thing that consistently. That's, yeah.
It's a hard thing, and that's why it's called the thing. We refuse to acknowledge it. It's just the thing.
Oh, CTHN, no. That's a big error around the ice thing.
Okay. No, the bobsled loop doesn't deserve the name. Remember our golden rules. Don't touch grass, wet plastic sucks, and we never talk about the bobsled loop. It's the 3 rules of Trackmania. You know. But that's going to be an
That's it.
ace. That's going to be an ace for TMU India because they made it through the thing that cleanly.
CTHN struggling on the high-tech sections of this as well. It is a very, very tough map to make it through on low practice, and you can see that coming through now.
Indeed, it's not a good sign, especially on the identity, where Scorpid could have stopped that ace. He could have gotten that second position, but he just wasn't able to pull through on the identity. And it is one of the harder identities. It's one of the only maps that has like a weird 360 spin on it, you know? You gotta line yourself up the right way, and it's the struggle of that identity specifically as they head through the thing.
The thing is done now and coming through the plastic as well. Still icy at times on that as well with enough speed. Can be treacherous. They're making their way through now, snaking into the ice slide section here. Does CTHN make this one a little more cleanly? Yes, he will, and with some pace through the section. Checkpoint there as Scorp and Nomad fight out for first position. CTHN actually is making some room on them.
It was unfortunate for Divian. She did have a mistake on the ice slide. Same with CTHN, just making a mistake. Divian is heading through the identity with less speed than Scorpid. CTHN crashed it. Divian has crashed it. It's Scorpid able to get second and CTHN in third. It's going to be a tie, but that was a fiesta.
Yeah, now Divyansh unable to finish as well with low speed through that identity at the end, and that is an incredible way to take out the second round, but there's not much in it really when it comes down to consistency issues out of TMU India. However, we are consistently seeing consistency issues with non-trained duo.
I think it literally, like, as silly as it sounds, it literally comes down to the training. The training gives you that consistency, not just the pace. You get consistent on the parts. You know how you can take those safe lines, and that practice helps learn that. For non-trained duo who didn't train, they're going into this trying to figure out those lines as they go. So they're trying to learn, but it means Nomad and Divyansh, who have learned those safe lines and those backup strats, means that they're able to get through this relatively cleanly with good pace. And Nomad right now, just running away at the front, able to get the dirt cleanly. Divyansh right there. Scorpid messing up the ice, but it does mean CTA10 has got to try and claw this back. The other two we're seeing clean identities from, so it looks like it's going to be an ace.
Yeah, Divyansh actually making even more time than Nomad through that ice section. Both of them looking really consistent just there. No hint of an error. Scorpid is going to make an awesome final corner there, but it is not to matter. Well behind, it is going to be an ace for TMU India.
7-1. That's not a good scoreline for non-trained duo. It's literally got to come down to, can you India ace and take this out?
Why aren't we in Rocket League right now? I can call out Brazil.
I mean, we can call the Brazil. We do have a scoreline.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, the World Cup, Brazil 7-1, it's a whole fiasco. But we're seeing the scoreline come out right now, and TMU India on the benefiting side of it. So definitely a significant scoreline.
It is a very significant scoreline, and I remember actually when it happened, like when the 7-1 came out and people just started calling it a Brazil. Yeah. I remember that moment, and now that now that we see it in game where the scorelines are not the normal points to 100, we can see a Brazil in 2023. It is such an outdated meme, but so beautiful.
Yeah, and right now it is less surprising, I suppose, here with non-trained duo going into such a tough map. The tech sections really destroying them with low practice. The 7-1's probably a lot more expected. I don't think you would get any memery out of this one.
Unfortunate. Scorpid rubbing up against those barriers. It doesn't make a difference. 9-2 in favor of New India. All they got to do is draw. They've got this handily. This is going to be a 2-0 map in their favor unless non-trained can pull the rabbit out of the hat and get 3 aces in a row.
You can see the abilities in there, but behind non-trained duo though, and this is a squad that probably has a lot of potential behind them. It just isn't there because the consistency does require that training. But we have seen the corners, we've seen the tech out of them at moments that show us what they are capable of at their best.
It's definitely one of those things that, like, with no training, you could see some miracles happen. You could see some beautiful runs. But Divyansh and Nomad, they haven't had a lot of chronic mistakes that have cost them rounds. Maybe a draw, maybe a
Oh,
victory,
Devianch.
but Devianch and Nomad are still holding steady with Scorpid. Scorpid's trying to just make sure that he can hold himself at the front, but Nomad is right there as well, playing the game. It's literally coming down to the identity. Will they be able to ace or victory, or will they both mess it up and
Oh,
cost the ace?
Devianch! That is a beautiful finish from Devianch. Actually takes
Oh,
it
yeah.
the harder strat, doesn't use the full 360 through there, gets the extra speed, and just slides the final corner.
Scorpid's just parked up between some barriers. He took the CP in the most inventive way possible. Somehow managed to get halfway between the two barriers, parking himself up, but that's 2-0 in favor of New India. Non-trained duo isn't looking good right now.
Yeah, I mean, a bit of fight back in map 1, but this one, 12-2, an enormous scoreline there, nearly making your dreams come true, Edamame.
I mean,
2
yeah.
points off it.
Yeah,
2 points.
2 points. 2 points are the difference, though. 12-0 is stronger than 10-2. 10-2 is like 2 victories or 2 draws, that's whatever. 12-0 is 4 straight aces. We are the best on this map. There is no arguing about that.
Well, the possibilities are still there to argue that, because I think they are coming through now, TM New India. If they can prove that dominance again in their third map, this is going to be an enormous sweep.
Oh, that's going to be huge for them. But we are on Aero Pipes, the greatest map of all time. Deserves 200 awards on TMX. You know, featured everywhere. It's going to be the trailers. You know, everything's going to be this map because of how much of a fiesta the ending seems to be.
Yeah, this is easily going to be my favorite map to watch of the season. The track proves to be Entertainment City. I even love this section. The plastic rub, the grind on the wall there, absolutely awesome. A little bit of tech that has been put into this season.
It's a very, very cool mechanic. And like, I've used that mechanic in other maps where it's like, it's not this sort of like competitive style, but I've seen it used in different maps like that. It's such a cool mechanic, but to see it in a competitive map where it's like, hey, you actually have to line this up to keep as much speed through engine off. It's such a unique mechanic.
Right, here we go again. Neumad just in behind Scorpid. This is a good look for non-trained duo with Devianch well behind as well. Should at this pace be a victory for Team New India? Of course, we still haven't seen the identity, and we won't from either. That's a big mistake from both. Neumad in behind again now. As, oh my goodness, ETHN has right himself right in front of the finish line and will take it just about upside down. Neumad's still trying to follow that up, but making errors now. Come on, guys, I can do this. You can too.
No, that's CTHN getting a finish. Devianch is down, Neumad's down, Scorpion's unable to finish. That's an ace. That's an ace for non-trained duo on the fact that one player finished.
That is brilliant stuff. The one-man ace.
The one-man ace. And you cannot make this up. This is Trackmania Esports. One person finishes and gets the ace. That's just Aero Pipes. I have no words for that.
Through the plastic grind again now, Neumad following up Scorpid again. Scorpid is rapid through this early section, but did drop off pretty quickly after that last time. Can Scorpid keep some consistency in this?
I'm hoping they can get some consistency after that, but Neumad's trying to fight his way forward on Scorpid. CTA10's a fair margin behind. Devianch is trying to push his way forward with Neumad there, but Scorpid's got that little bit of a lead, and we just got to pray that they actually make it through the identity, because you can have all this pace around the map, and funnily enough, the identity messes you up. But New India is holding steady just behind Scorpid. It literally just comes down to, will Scorpid mess up the identity, or will he be able to stop a potential ace through the engine off section for Devianch? He's getting through.
Oh!
Scorpid drops it. Neumad's able to make it on the first. Devianch clips it. CDHN's still behind. Scorpid hits it.
Huge finish.
That's huge. Devianch able to follow through and get himself the second one. Neumad trying to recover and make his way through. Able to miss the pipe. CTHN still trying to catch up. He's too far behind. Neumad's unable to finish.
Neumad.
It's a victory in favor of non-trained duo, 5-1. What is going on?
Oh my goodness. Non-trained duo, they're showing us where their hours have gone into this. And it is this map. It is a good pick for them as Scorpid comes through. Once again, looking at him probably being pretty quick through this first section. It has been consistently so.
Honestly, this map and Flip of Faith are the ones where you see potentially like huge no finishes. But it's just, this is the content I want to cast. You know, yes, watching close rounds is wonderful. You can get some great content from it. But a round where one person finishes and manages to ace it is the stuff that's most interesting.
Yeah, that needs to go on all the social medias. Win by single player. The end.
Single player wins the round by finishing, not clickbait. Someone's gonna have to clip that.
Number 3 will surprise you. All right, coming through now. Up high on this to get the speed down the dirt and into the final section here. Can he finally make this in one run? No, Scorpid goes off the edge.
Nomad goes off the edge. Divianch is following through. He actually hits it and makes it. Divianch is able to get the round.
Still beats out Nomad.
Upside down, CTHN lands it cleanly, but Scorpid makes it upside down and beats Nomad.
I love this map. Can we just have this every season from now on? Just look, this is obligatory.
Can we just have this as like a track of the day? Just release this and watch the lower divisions. We'll see how many eliminations we can get round 1. Round 2. I'm calling like 30.
Own esport right there.
Yes. We'll just run a World Tour that's just Trackmania World Tour Aero Pipes edition and just put everyone on it and say good luck.
Scorpid again. Just the consistency of how rapid he is in this early area. Non-trained duo should be up based on that alone.
They should be up, but Divianch is not having a good round on this. He's trying to pull the CTHN and catch up. But Nomad and Scorpid are currently dueling it out at the front. I will say though, like, watching the rest of the map, you know, you got Scorpid with it clean, Nomad keeping close pace, and it's the back two that just seem to make a small mistake, and it costs them, but we still got the Aero Pipes.
Coming into them now, in fact, Nomad following up. Will either of them make it cleanly? Oh yes, Nomad will. Does he finish it off as well? Yes, that is the first purely clean run we have seen. Scorpid making the mistake. He will finish it up third, as CTHN made it as well. Divianch, the only one yet to finish here, and may do so right now. Does look like we would have had a full round finished, but no, the draw is secured regardless.
Look, we'll take a draw. It means I can go to another round so we can have even more Aero Pipes, but you could see that Nomad actually took both cleanly, and that's one of the first rounds you've seen where he's able to hit both with pace and that just clean landing that he's looking for. It's the identity, man. It's the identity.
Once again, Scorpid leading the pace, and Divianch this time trying to follow up. It normally has been Nomad, but a bit of an early mistake there, costing him some time. Still, he has been able to make it up through the identity, the Aero Pipes. He is the only person to make it through in a single attempt very cleanly. And with the pace he's got right now, positioning, he could still make that up to be even first place from the back of the pack if he does so again. Another big hit on the wall for him, though.
That's not handy for him. It's going to be CTHN and Divianch trying to, you know, duel it out at the front, because if CTHN can overtake Divianch, it's going to be an ace, and we're going to move into map 4. But Divianch right now has got the pace he's looking for to hold himself over CTHN. Come on, Aero Pipes. Let's see what you got. Scorpid managed to hit it cleanly. Divianch hit it cleanly. CTHN hit it. They all failed the second time.
Nomad coming through with the clean finish again. It actually happened. It actually happened.
That's an ace for New India.
And Scorpid's bouncing. Okay, he does make it. That is actually an ace for TM New India. Bringing it back to a 6-7.
Nomad went from the back of the pack to first place because everyone messed up the second pipe.
It's incredible.
Oh, God.
I just want to point out that this was a 7-1 again, this time to non-trained duo, and now we're back.
And now we're back. This map is just something of beauty. You know, some people have some clean runs on it throughout the rest of the map. Gets the identity, and everyone is going to be fighting. Nomad there, yeah, going what? And and he's gone. That's a crash.
He's very gone.
That is a see you later moment right there.
Now, following through from the back, we will probably see him do it again. Let's be honest.
Look, I just want someone.
How clean he is anywhere else. He just has to do that.
I just want to see someone just take like the clip of this entire Aero Pipes map and just make a compilation. I just want to see all of it.
Section, yeah.
Yeah. No, not even the Aero Pipes, the entire map. I just want to see all of it.
Okay, yeah.
But we do have other results as well. Skux Deluxe managed to 3-0 Rhoda there. So that's them moving forward. Scorpid fails that. Divianch making it through cleanly. Nomad close behind. Nomad clips. CTHN onto the second pipe, and he barely makes it. He's not going to be able to roof it.
Still following it through, though. That's going to be an ace.
No, it's going to be a victory.
CTHN sorry, was right in front.
Yep, Scorpid's turtling backwards, and that's the way to finish the map. It's going to be 8-all. It's match point for TMU India. They clawed back from 7-1. They could take this map. Oh god.
Someone in chat said, "Can we change into Aero Pipes 5 maps?" In a row?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the new esport that we're talking about.
Yeah, one of them
Aero
reversed.
Pipes edition. Yeah.
One of them reversed. One of them checkpointless.
How would you even do that? That's not.
Off the start, you couldn't hit that Aero Pipe. It's just hard.
Okay, fair. Yep. As if it's not hard enough.
I mean, it's never.
This is
never
just this is the esport of which one player can finish.
it's the you're playing Aero Pipes, good luck moment.
Yes.
Oh god. I know if I ever take part in regionals, you know straight away I'm picking Aero Pipes. I don't care if I'm good at others. Aero Pipes is where it's at.
8-8 now, back to even. TMU India continuing to make ground now that they have had a bit of time on the map. Nomad in particular has just been making ground for them. Even when he isn't the one in first, he is making up that position that's absolutely crucial. And again, might be able to do it again. Scorpid's still in front. Scorpid can't complete it, and it's another clean finish from Nomad.
It literally comes down to can Divianch finish? If Divianch finishes, the match is, yep, there we go. It's TMU India. TMU India win 3-0. God, I love Aero Pipes.
Off of such a massive start from non-trained duo as well. That is a huge clawback from TMU India. We almost saw overtime as well, 10-9. Close as it gets.
It's close, but TMU India managed to pull through. As we called it, we were expecting that to happen. Congratulations to TMU India. They will move forward. We do get to say goodbye to non-trained duo who may go and train now.
Yes, they should get straight onto it. The only track that they probably didn't need quite as much training on was this one, ironically.
Weirdly enough, I can agree with you. It's the one where, like, comparatively, you know, they were doing all right on the others, but weren't having that pace. Aero Pipes with the Fiesta was the closest there. And that was a really good performance by them, regardless, even though we had some funny moments and some great clips that you might even see on the Trackmania Esports channel on YouTube. That's still some funny moments.
Yeah, really, definitely some fun involved in that one. I hope to see that track picked more often. Aero Pipes really, really brings the entertainment.
Indeed. But we are going to be moving into Juice versus Mijiki, a currently ongoing match. It is currently 1-2 in favor of Mijiki right now, so we will be jumping straight into that. Juice versus Mijiki, who's your pick?
I'm going to go with Mijiki. No, not going to give you any reasoning. That's it. Just Mijiki.
Just Mijiki. That's all it needs to be, but we are jumping in on back and forth of all the maps.
There we go. There's some reasoning. They're already up.
Oh, look at that. Yep. It is Mijiki's favor right now. I just realized Juice Racing is Leviathan and Sky, one of the great Indonesian duos as well. They might be able to claw it back, seeing the start there from Haytone, unfortunately failing that. He was the one to watch on this map, being in that first place position, but now SQLC's like, nah, you can take a seat. I'm going to take over now. And it's a close fight up the top in first and second.
Now looking for that 360. Sky having a little bit of an issue there. SQLC up in front. We have seen Mijiki do very, very well already. Up by 1 point in this map and 2 rounds already won. 2 maps already won here as well.
It is 2-1 though, so Juice did actually take a map, and I would love to know what map they took, knowing that they could actually claw it away from Mijiki, but Mijiki is actually pulling through. Right now, they're getting an ace on this, so they're going to go up 5-1. That's not looking good for Sky and Leviathan, knowing that this could be their last chance.
Yeah, Haytone was fast on this last time as well. You can see why they pick it. The backwards section really going off for Mijiki. They proved to be very, very dominant on this track last time as well, I believe.
I believe it was, Mijiki doing really well and getting themselves a dub thanks to Haytone's performance, but, you know, it's...
Oh, actually, this was the map that they had to go out of. This was the map that they had to do their forfeit because Haytone lost connection.
Oh, no, that was...
Was it not?
No, that was Gyroscope.
Oh, it was too. Yeah, it was round 3 of Gyroscope.
Yeah, no, this was the one that Haytone was holding up the front constantly.
SQLC.
SQLC failed it, Leviathan failed it, Haytone and Sky up the front, still dueling it out. It's still anyone's game. But that's not handy for Mijiki trying to extend their lead. It's looking like a tie right now as long as Leviathan could hold it over SQLC. 5 seconds separating the two of them. It could be anyone's game, but Haytone and Sky clean through the identity. Leviathan making his way through now. It's looking like a tie, and that's going to be 6-2. Still not good for Juice.
No, Mijiki looking quite dominant here. SQLC making a bit of a error that is uncharacteristic for him on this map as well. So we did see SQLC making more errors than Haytone on this one. Haytone really super consistent, even chasing, I think we were saying about Haytone, that he was basically chasing PBs through the entirety of this last time. So yeah, SQLC is probably the one to watch to secure the victories or even the aces for Mijiki.
I think that's definitely one of those things, like, if Haytone can get his consistency up on this map, he's just PB chasing. He's not even trying to, you know, get into first place and fight forward. Look that margin!
Over a second ahead already. Bit of a tap there. It's been consistently happening to these players, and well, I don't think we saw that last time we were on this map. And Haytone still chasing through for massive times here, coming into the identity now, heading backwards, down off that ramp, and heading into the turns.
Leviathan did go wide there, and that's going to cost him. He has to take the respawn. SQLC is going to try and take it from Sky. Sky clips, and that's going to be Mijiki getting another ace. They just need to get a tie, and it's game over for Juice Racing. Damn.
Juice. Oh, this is... Leviathan, no, has had no chance here. Mistake after mistake for Juice Racing is going to cost them this map. And Mijiki only need a tie to do it, as you said.
Mijiki just need to get someone near the top. It doesn't even have to be first place, because they could get second and fourth and it still works. They just can't come third and fourth. So as long as Haytone drives a clean run, make sure he's getting a little bit of pace in there, Mijiki are going to take this out, and currently it's not looking that good for Juice Racing, being so far behind. It's 3 aces. We've never seen 3 aces in a row.
Wet plastic.
Wet plastic. No, you said it. You said it. Go.
I said it. It's happened, and they are through it. Into the ice now. The 360 fast from all players. Leviathan lagging behind by a second here. And Haytone consistently leading up in that first place once again, coming now into the identity. We watch everybody drop down backwards, and it will be carrying through, jumping through the front. SQLC chasing up, actually gaining a little bit here on Haytone for a moment. But through the final corner, it will be Haytone once again setting pace with a 57.5.
That's actually a really clean run from him. Did not matter about the ace, but Mijiki take it out 12-2. It's going to be in their favor. Congratulations to them. They are going to be moving forward, and Juice Racing are not going to be happy about that loss.
A huge win for Mijiki, and well earned. I mean, that map particularly, always going to be well earned with Haytone and the consistency he has on that. I can't imagine the amount of hours he's put into that to look like that every single time he goes through the map.
It's one of those things that he's got that consistency under there, which helps him, you know, carry these maps. But it is going to be handy if they keep picking back and forth, because Haytone's got that consistency, and that's their strength. But they will be moving forward there We will be going on a quick break, so make sure you grab yourself some water, go and take a bathroom break if you need to, and we will be back with the Trackmania World Tour Apac Regionals 2, also known as the 2508 Cup. And we are back with the Trackmania World Tour Apac Regionals 2, also known as the 2508 Cup. We've got some interesting rounds coming up. We are now heading into the quarterfinals. We have Vobi and Mijiki. We've got Asia Overdrive and Antic. We've got Ferox Industries and TM New India. And we have Dynasty and Skux Deluxe. A bunch of interesting games there, but we're actually going to watch Dynasty and Skux. And I'm keen to see this.
Yeah, Dynasty and Skux should be a very intense matchup. Both incredibly skillful teams here. We saw Skux Deluxe win in the matchup against the team we just saw take their win as well in the lower bracket. And Dynasty with Kim1 and Pixels. This should be a huge, huge fight.
Indeed. As we go and look at the brackets as well, this should be working. Brackets take a brief moment just to update correctly, just because of that. There we go. As you can see, these are the matches that we have in the upper bracket, and we've got some strong names here. We've got Vobi and Mijiki. Keep in mind, Mijiki number 3. Vobi took it out last time. We've got Asia Overdrive, who we haven't seen yet, but they're taking on Antic, who are the duo of Cobra and Kelva, so that's going to be a really close fight. Ferox, the New Zealand duo, are going to be taking on TM New India, and Dynasty and Skux. We haven't seen Dynasty yet, but Dynasty is Kimmy and Pixels, the runner-up from last time under LaFish Fan Club.
Yeah, Dynasty should be able to put up a very good fight against Skux Deluxe. Very interested to see how that Vobi versus Mijiki match goes. I think Ferox should pretty comfortably have their win over TM New India, if you're asking me as well.
I'm thinking that that's going to be the case. My calls right now are going to be Vobi's going to take it over Mijiki. I'm thinking Antic might take it over Asia Overdrive. I know Asia Overdrive are pretty strong, but I have a feeling Antic will be able to pull through. Ferox, TM New India, I'm going for Ferox. Ferox are such a strong duo, and they're going to be pushed forward. And here we've got Dynasty and Skux, and that's the close fight that I'm not actually sure which way it could go. Keep in mind, Ferox is a very, very... Dynasty are a really strong duo. They were the runner-up last time, and they're going against Skux Deluxe, which is Biwack and J-Swag, 2 newcomers to the regionals. So it could go either way. I think I'm going to put my money on Dynasty, though.
I doubted in the Oceanic boys last time, and I got proven wrong. Skux Deluxe. I'm backing them. I'm going with the New Zealanders and putting my faith in my local region.
Yeah, look, we got to put faith in the Kiwis. We've got to show some love for them. As much as I want to support Kimmy and Pixels, and the training they've been doing is wonderful.
Pixels is a crazy talented player across tons of different campaigns and stuff as well. So I don't have any doubt in Dynasty's capabilities here.
Yeah, Dynasty's capabilities are really strong. And they're one of the they were actually the first organization other than Vobi to pick up a duo in this regional. So Vobi picked up Kuda and Spark in the first regional. So heading into that, they were Vobi straight away. Straight away, they were champions. But in this one, Dynasty were the first ones to pick up Kimmy and Pixels, and then it went Ferox, and then it went Antic. And there's rumors that other orgs are looking at picking up some duos. So we may see more duos in the next regional. It's all up in the air.
It is indeed, but we've already got our map picks going on as well, and Aero Pipes has already been put on the board. That's what we want to see.
Ah, yes, I did see that we are heading into the next match. I didn't miss that. What are you talking about? Everything's fine. But thank you for informing me. Aero Pipes is number 1, and I'm believing that's got to be Dynasty's pick there.
Yeah, it should be indeed. Parkour also on there. Agility Dash, to your chagrin, is on there. Flip of Faith, though. You are going to be so happy. Flip of Faith has been chosen.
Yes, we are on a best of 7 now, so we're going to be seeing 7 maps, 1 band, so Freestyle and Reps band, but we've got Gyroscopes, Parkour, Aero Pipes, Aero Pipes, Flip of Faith, Agility Dash, Slippy Slides, and Slow Down to finish it off. That is a really nice pick band phase. They've picked a lot of really interesting maps, and we get to see Flip of Faith on stream, and Flip of Faith is such a good map.
And Slowdown being in there as the random pick as well. It is a little bit out of the wheelhouse of the other maps picked there, I suppose, but being best of 7, you've got to have the practice in across everything now.
Exactly. Knowing that the skill level these guys are at, it's not just making sure you have the practice, it's making sure you can get solid paces. Like, yeah, you could finish the map. Hell, I can complete everything to a gold. It's about getting those fast paces and holding that consistency at this level. Because if you can keep consistent, Cool. You've done half the equation. If you can keep those paces at the same time, that's what's going to give you map wins. That's what's going to move you forward, and that's what's going to give you more points.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've got authors on slowdown. If you can't get gold on slowdown, I'd be disappointed in you at the moment.
I've got author on slowdown, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember, but I know that Gyroscope is one of those maps where we're going to be seeing how they go. Remembering, of course, there is the 360 spin, and there is also the sideways strat. And the sideways strat is a little bit easier, but you got to have it perfect, otherwise you're screwed.
Here we come in now, and the warm-up has been commenced, so it's going to be Bywhack in here now on my camera, and I am watching this through as they come through the first corner, and he will be out in front. Bywhack has been typically the fastest through this section, but that's a big touch early there. That clip holding him back a long way.
It is definitely, it's definitely not a good thing for Bywhack to be that far behind, but at least this match is a bit easier to cast for this, because we can see the black and orange cars are Dynasty, a beautiful skin once again from a brilliant skinner in our community. So we get to see the black and orange cars keeping their pace going, and then the blue, I'd say, the blue cars are Skux Deluxe. But as we head through the dirt, it's going to be the orange cars in the front. J-Swag is trying to keep up the pace there, but he's a little bit behind. As we get ready for the identity, Kimmy and Pixels right there, 1 and 2. Getting into the spin, Kimmy does the sideways spin the other way. Pixels manages to get it first.
Ends up into the barriers as well. Kimmy goes out last as a result, so that's going to be a draw.
It is a draw. It is unfortunate for Kimmy. He was able to spin the other way, but was not able to recover. But started on a draw. No complaints about that.
No, I mean, we said this should be an intense matchup, and that's what we see immediately. Really confused about that spin, though.
I mean, the spin, some people say that the spin is, harder. Some say it's easier. I don't know. It's one of those toss-up strats, comparatively.
Here we go again now. Coming through into the ice slide. This has been crucial for a lot of teams, particularly getting that little turn in right as you go off the lip of the first section of the ice slide. You see Kimmy screw that up right towards the end and did lose a bit of time. Had time to lose as well and only goes back to second place. Can recover this now with a good run through here, but can't afford to go for the slide strat. Does nail it as well and gets back to that first place. That is an awesome finish.
That is a really clean finish from Kimmy. You could see he had the right angle, was able to recover, put himself forward, get themselves an ace, bump their lead up to 3 points, and that's a handy start on map 1.
Yeah, that is an awesomely clean run out of these guys, despite Kimmy actually having that issue through the ice slide section. So really doing very well. I mean, it is a forgivable error as well, because if you're going to do that ice slide right, you have to cut that so fine through the checkpoint, and that is where he found that small clip.
It's definitely one of the cooler checkpoints. Most of the time, you don't put a checkpoint in a corner. You wait till the end of the corner, put your checkpoint there. That one, smack bang in the middle to make sure you don't cut it. So it's hey, this checkpoint could be your nightmare. But currently we have Pixels trying to fight it with J-Swag to move into second position. But Kimmy is just ahead, having a great time as Pixels goes a little bit wide on the ice, gets himself the dirt flick, loses a bit of speed to Kimmy and J-Swag, but J-Swag's trying to deny them another ace as we move into the identity. It's going to be J-Swag kind of in the lead. Both of them getting the sideways strat. Kimmy actually hitting it cleaner. That bog at the end doesn't help, and they're going to get a tie with that. Good move by J-Swag.
Yeah, really nicely done by J-Swag, and actually proved to be the right strategy just to go for the consistency. And it may pay off in the long run for Skux Deluxe, because it seems that Dynasty is going for these high speed runs pretty consistently, and there are always those risk factors when you do that.
There's always the risk factors if you want to go for that, sideways, which I did say was easy. It's actually harder. I just go for the spin because I'm used to spinning, and I mean, who doesn't love a good ice spin? It's so clean.
Yeah, the spin is certainly the easiest strategy. It's the more consistent one, but you get so much speed out of going directly sideways. It just cancels out that booster so perfectly. But coming through now again into this slide section. Big error from Dynasty. Now, chance for an ace from Skux Deluxe, but that is a big move made there as well. Pixels out in front now, who was behind a moment ago. Kimmy well behind. It all comes down to this moment at the end. All three going for the little pirouette through. Dynasty are the only one to do it right, though, in Pixels, and they're going to pick up the draw as a result.
Pixels made a powerful play there. There was mistakes from Skux, but Pixels just hit that so cleanly, got the inside line, and was able to run away with that first place to deny them a victory. And that's the most handy thing for them, is trying to just stop victories and aces. They can hold the lead as long as they just deny them in every round. So at this point with the 3-point lead, all they got to do is just deny those aces. One person in the lead, cool. We still get points in the end. It doesn't matter if they get a victory.
One little bit of proof about that sideways through the ice slide instead of the pirouette is actually the track 7 in the reverse campaign right now. If you go and take a look at that, the only way to get through the start of it is to do exactly the strategy on this track for the fastest speed. Otherwise, you cannot make that. Certainly not with the power you need to get through the next jump. So it is one of the best ways possible to get through a reverse booster.
It's an interesting strat, to say the least. This Identity has shown its ugly face in other rounds, but Pixels, what a clean run. Once again, denying them an ace. 3 points for Dynasty, and they'll take the first map.
Pixels has been just so consistent. He just does not look like making a mistake at the moment.
If I was Customs, I'd be proud of the way that Pixels is playing on this map. Knowing that this can be a difficult map, Customs would be seeing this and going, yes, that's what we need. Keep this up, Pixels. Kimmy, please catch up. Please.
He doesn't even need to. As long as he keeps holding ties, they will win this eventually. Skux Deluxe need an ace in here, really. Not even just a win, if they want any confidence in themselves to win this.
And right now, Biwak is making moves, moving up into that second position, but Pixels is still able to hit that slide. Kimmy goes a little bit wide, but he is holding a steady angle. He does slide out. Yeah, Pixels recovers it, but Kimmy messed it up. Biwak messes it up. This could be a victory unless J-Swag hits us perfectly, as we do head into the Identity once again. Let's see if they can do it. Pixels, once again, clean spin through. Able to hit it forward, goes ahead of J-Swag, able to keep the overtake. That's going to be a victory for Dynasty. 1 point away. That's got to be good.
And we know that Pixels is capable of taking that with the fastest strat through, going in sideways, but he had time to spare there, made the right decision in playing that safe, and he was able to carry it through the final corner with speed as well. He has that down pat.
Yeah, that's really good, and that's going to be them able to be 1 point away from just moving on from Gyroscope. Aero Pipes is coming up as well, and I know that Skux is going to be dreading that, knowing they have to play it anyway. So will Dynasty be able to show their strength on that, or will that be one of their weak maps once again?
And here we go again. Skux Deluxe still with the vaguest of chances here if they can pull off a miracle. And they are pushing for this. Biwak in front. Big error from Pixels might give them a chance here. J-Swag and Biwak both have to beat out Kimmy for it, though. Coming through into the dirt now. Lots of speed to be gained through this section, and Kimmy hasn't done it perfectly, but it might just be out well enough ahead. Almost a full second on both of them really here. At least 3/4 of a second. And a huge error from Kimmy. That's going to be it. There's actually an ace for Skux Deluxe. That's
going to be handy for Skux's campaign. That is not a good round for them. But they just got to make sure that they could just get someone in first place, and it's GG. We move on to the next map. That's not good.
I mean, Skux Deluxe, even if they can secure a win out of this next one, a victory, they will tie it up. If they can ace it, they will secure the map against all odds. J-Swag is leading up at the front of the pack right now.
J-Swag holding at the front is not a good sign for Dynasty, because keep in mind, if Skux get a victory, they go into an overtime and they have to play this map again. But Kimmy's fighting his way forward, knowing he's got to try and make that move. Everyone's pretty close in this round. This is actually a pretty close fight into the ice slide. Kimmy and Pixels getting
Oh,
low
that's an
lines.
error.
A very minor... Oh, no, that's maybe an error. Okay. I was going to say a minor error, but they're able to recover it. Pixels has just got to hold himself steady. If Biowak overtakes, it's an ace, and Skux take the map as we head into the identity there. Biowak just behind Pixels. Really?
He's gonna. Oh no, he did go for the safer strat, but that does mean that we go to overtime. Skux Deluxe have secured themselves another chance at the very least.
That is not a good sign. They have to play overtime, and Dynasty know the pressure is on. As long as they can keep that, tie pace, we're all good. The moment that there's a mistake from either party, it's game over. We move into the next map.
Now, Biowak leading up the front with J-Swag right behind. Can they hold this for the map? Timmy already moving positions here. It's going to be a tight one. Everybody is going to give everything to this. I can't imagine that this will be a draw, as obviously possible, but everybody is going to throw themselves at this one.
It's literally coming down to, can they hit the ice slide? It seems to be the ice slide that messes up, not the identity. There's only been a few mistakes on the identity. Biowak messes it up. Kimmy and Pixels first and second. J-Swag is going to try and push forward to get that first place. But right now, Kimmy and Pixels have that pace. About to hit the identity.
Needs to hit this sideways.
Has to hit it sideways. Let's see J-Swag.
He's going for it.
He's going for it.
He's got the last corner. No, he screwed it up. And that's going to be Dynasty with an ace to take it out. 13 to 10.
J-Swag had to risk it. You knew at that point, J-Swag's like, I have to go for the sideways.
Yeah, he had to.
Kimmy did too. Kimmy went for the sideways and hit it better, able to get the line he needs. That's the first map for Dynasty. One step closer for the semifinals there. It's respectable effort, but we move into map 2, which is going to be parkour. Parkour.
When we're talking so often about the consistency as well, you go for that different strat, you end up with a totally different amount of speed. Your muscle memory is all off for that final corner, so you can see how the error was made. Like you said, Kimmy just pulled it off better. So an incredible way, nonetheless, to take out that map, and it proved to me that Skux Deluxe deserves to be in this conversation, that we deserve to be hyping this matchup the way we did.
Oh, we definitely need to hype this matchup. Keep in mind, Skux Deluxe being a new duo, Dynasty literally has the players who came runner-up last time. Skux Deluxe, brand new, keeping pace with Dynasty.
Crazy potential.
Knowing, there's so much potential there. They're knowing that Skux could be a threat if they're not able to hold it against them. But at the start of this, it is looking like Kimmy is holding near the front. Biowak as well, trying to keep that pace, but not getting as good an ice slide. Kimmy's going to be first, but J-Swag is catching up as they do head into the transition.
Oh my goodness, what a transition from J-Swag. Gets a cut ahead there as well. If he can hold it through the toboggan into this last corner, he will get a fantastic dirt attempt here, but he is falling behind. And it is going to come down to the identity again.
That line from Kimmy was so close to the wall.
Yeah.
He was playing with fire, but it is going to pay off.
Oh, J-Swag.
57-2, not a bad pace from Kimmy there. That was enough. He literally had to go as so close to the dirt as possible to just hold himself over J-Swag and Biowak. Clean ending, enough to hold that draw. Once again, draw for map 1.
Yeah, I mean, it does just come down to that dirt section so often. It is the hardest part of this map, and obviously one of the most crucial, and Kimmy just nailed that.
That's exactly what you want from Kimmy, but as we move into the next round, it does look like Biowak's got the pace there. Pixels makes an early error, and that's not going to be handy. Biowak and J-Swag, first and second. They're going to be trying to fight for that ace to get that early lead, but Kimmy is coming in with some pace. Clean off the slide, but does have to flick. It does mean he's lost a little bit of speed. He's going to have to push even harder, knowing that there was an ace opportunity, but Biowak just missed. That's all there is. Biowak just missed.
Pixels well behind, though. Actually made an enormous error there as well. And Biowak does have an opportunity to turn this into a victory. Not a quick ending here, but there has been a reset from Pixels. And now Biowak ahead can still secure a win here.
Pixels actually overtook Biowak. Biowak had to, respawn to fix that. Pixels was actually able to overtake and get himself that second there. Kimmy had to take a respawn thanks to the dirt. But it's going to be a victory in Skux's favor and put them in the lead on their pick.
Again, the transition on that jump, plenty of times a jump like that has been in main campaign and everything. If you have not tried these maps, that is not your standard jump transition. It is much harder. It lifts you off the wall too easily, and the transition low, like particularly J-Swag has been able to get time and time again on it, is so hard to do.
J-Swag just hit. I think he hit a neon block, and that's him pushed to the back of the pack. Pixels was trying to catch up to Biwack and Kimmy. Pixels made a mistake.
Oh, wow.
It's going to be Biwack at the front, Kimmy trying to fight there. J-Swag and Pixels not having a good time in the back, but Kimmy's able to get through the bobsled a little bit easier. Let's see if he can hit the dirt as outside as he's wanting. He does hit it cleanly. Biwack right there trying to catch up. But as we head into the identity, one jump, two jump, Kimmy's ahead. Biwack crashes. Biwack. That's
just
not good.
Headed in too far left, hit the high side, wasn't able to make the transition, and now it is going to be a pretty much guaranteed ace here from Dynasty. Yes, it will be.
That's not good for Biwack. He could have denied the ace. Kimmy was way too far ahead. That was going to be a victory, but the ace is going to put Dynasty back in the lead by 2. They're starting to look a bit handy on this map, and we're just going to pray that Kimmy hits that outside dirt, because if he doesn't, that's where the rounds go, and that's where Skux can make that opportunity come through.
Biwack, fantastic first jump there, landing perfectly, and does get some speed out of it as a result. Will be coming out first into the jump up onto the, I believe that's steel, that surface, isn't it?
Wood platform.
Metal. Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just painted black, but it is wood platform. It's classed in the files as wood platform as well. But as far as I'm aware, it handles basically the same as normal road tech. So,
okay.
Yeah, it's just wood.
It's harder to see your drift lines.
I mean, would you look at that?
Biwack, this is a fast run. Does he manage to get the dirt perfectly? Yes, he does. My goodness. And yet still caught here. Kimmy coming through with some absolute pace. And Kimmy might get beaten out here. This is an incredible take back. Biwack in first place.
That was a really good run by Biwack. That's going to help them. They're still a point behind, but Pixels messed up his line. He had no way to catch up. J-Swag just had more pace thanks to a better dirt line. And that's not going to be good for Dynasty, seeing that they're catching up.
Yeah, Skux only one behind here. That was an absolutely awesome round from Biwack. Just took that final jump with such a direct route at the finish line. It was actually a very risky maneuver there. You risk tree tacking into those trees, but you definitely get some speed out of it if you can get that straight as an arrow as he did.
Indeed. Kimmy and Pixels currently holding the front of the pack right now. They just want to stop playing around on this map and get themselves out of there. So they've got close pace, yeah. Biwack and J-Swag are pretty close, but still not able to catch up. Pixels takes a bit more of an inside line with plenty of pace. Biwack's going to have to try and catch up here as we go through the identity. He's catching on Pixels, but will it be enough? Heading into that final identity, it's not going to be enough. Pixels is going to land. That's an ace for Dynasty, and all they got to do is time.
And Kimmy actually was the one to get that great line through the finish there. But this is it, 9-5. Skux Deluxe can't even afford to draw here if they want to take this like they did last time into an overtime at the very least.
Literally two aces from Skux and they win. Dynasty, all they got to do is finish. As long as they finish second or first. That's it. That's all it is.
Again. Yeah, all they have to do is not outright lose.
Yeah, don't touch grass. And Biwack lit out. He touched too much grass at that point, even though it's ice.
Yeah, Biwack struggling there. J-Swag keeping up, but this is looking very good for Dynasty. This is an incredibly clean run once again. Pixels actually out in front this time of Kimmy, and Pixels will take the dirt well enough.
J-Swag, brutal error heading into the dirt, and he's put out of the round. All they have to do is just finish. And Kimmy messed up. Doesn't matter. Pixels is going to take that first place, and that's enough. J-Swag, no! He tried to finish backwards, but that doesn't matter. It's an ace for Dynasty. 12-5, second map in their favor as we move, I believe, to Aero Pipes.
Yeah, big map win again from Dynasty, and we are looking like there is the potential here for an ace. Of course, we are best of 7 now, so we'll take a little longer to do it, but Dynasty 2-0 on map count now.
2-0, and we're heading into Pixel's stomping ground, Aero Pipes. Now, I say it's a stomping ground, but we did see the Voby match at the end, which did lose it for them. Will Pixels be warmed up and ready for this? We will have to see, but this is Pixels, one of his main maps, and we've seen good results from him as we get started with this round. It's going to be a close fight, but Biowak goes a little bit wide to keep that speed. It's actually a close race starting out, which is a good sign.
It is indeed. I think Pixels, if I'm not wrong, actually might have the record on Aero Pipes right now for Oceania. So that would make a lot of sense.
Another thing
wouldn't be for Oceania.
For Asia, yeah, but another thing to note is that with the training and stuff, a lot of the players have actually got an offline version of the map. So what we see as their PB may not be their PB. A lot of the players are keeping PBs secret. And the only reason we as casters might know is because we make friends with them and bribes.
Yeah.
But once we know that information, we know how they do on these maps. So when I say it's Pixel's stomping ground, we see the public pace, but we also know the private pace, and that's where the strength is.
Let's be honest. It's blackmail. We threaten to touch them with grass. It's,
we will put you on the lawn and force you to touch grass.
What is this line? J-Swag going for something consistent, I guess, and it works, but it's not fast.
Kimmy took a bad landing and he had to recover. J-Swag just had to get through it, and that was GG at that point. But yeah, Pixel's just clean run through, got himself the first place, and that's what counts. I told you it's Pixel's stomping ground.
Yeah. J-Swag at the end there just yeets himself into the sky to land on the ice slope at the ending there to avoid having to do the second pipe at all.
I don't think I've seen that strat. I would need to see it next time. Yeah, that's new. He's an innovator. That's what it is.
It looks consistent. I can't imagine that it is anywhere near as fast as just straight lining it over that pipe, though.
I mean, that is definitely something to watch as we do get about halfway through this map. When we get to it, we might see how J-Swag is doing it. Because I am curious to see how it's actually run. Pixels is able to just hit the pipes cleanly. He says he's not a Royale player, but after seeing how he hits the pipes, he could be a Royale player, let's be honest.
I think Pixels will never need this strategy. He is consistent on this map. He knows it like the back of his hand. This is his stomping ground, like you said. And currently, once again, he is stomping.
He is stomping. We get into the pipe.
Fantastic transition.
Fantastic
through
transition.
Again.
Kimmy through.
Watch J-Swag here.
Oh, J-Swag. Let's go watch
Oh,
J-Swag.
never mind. He does not have the speed to go for the strategy he was going to. Messed up the first pipe and does take it through the regular weather.
Yeah, that's an F right there. But that is 4-1 for Dynasty. Getting that ace is going to be handy for them. Remember, this is Pixel's stomping ground. If they can get an early lead, all they got to do is just keep winning and just have a great time on this map. And after the fiesta we saw before, I'm glad to see people finishing.
I mean, J-Swag just proved he can finish on pipe. So I'm going to... my thoughts are going to be on what would make him use the play-safe strategy that he clearly has in his bag of tricks, because he hasn't been ahead by enough, in my eyes, to use that.
I mean, if it is a consistent strat, then fair enough, it's cool to use. But, like, if he's not getting the speed that he needs for the setup, is it that really consistent?
It seems to be more about skipping that second pipe. The first one is a much easier pipe to make that run on, and it does make sense to me, but especially if you know personally that you have issues with that second pipe, but J-Swag just proved he can do that, so yeah, a little bit of confusion on me.
No, I see it. I pick up what you're putting down. I touch grass. That's what's up. But as we head into the identity, look at this. Pixels 1, straight on there.
Sins confirmed.
Straight away 2. Look at that. Clean
look
run.
at that, J-Swag.
J-Swag almost sniping Pixels. Pixels had it too clean. Kimmy's just going into the finish. That's another victory for Dynasty, and that will be 6-2 in their favor.
J-Swag just is very interesting on this map to me. Pixels is clearly clean. He knows the lines. He just facts it. J-Swag is doing different things every single time, He has no consistency, and yet he just took out his second spot on this.
Look,
it's very, very odd.
it is an interesting one for, like, because Pixels, yeah, consistently. We're aware of that. J-Swag just wants to experiment, is my guess.
Yeah,
He's like, I wonder
yeah.
if this works. Oh, it works. Cool.
Does he realize this is in competition? You've got the time to do this.
Maybe he's just like, look, we ain't got this map. Time for me to experiment. Backflip!
That's fair. It might be just it's Pixels. We're done.
Oh, yeah. Pixels, this map, nah, we're good. But at the same time, like, they knew this map was coming. They were well aware of this fact. It's not a surprise to them for this map. They just got to try and put up as much of a fight as possible, knowing how good Pixels is on the Aero pipes.
Big touch from J-Swag there. That clip costing a lot of time. Looking like Dynasty is going to get yet another ace out of this one as they come through into the identity now. The Aero pipes themselves posing no real threat to Pixels. As I say that, he clips the... Oh my goodness, Pixels is out of this. He is well and truly done there.
That's the J-Swag strat. Yeah, he goes straight up the quarter pipe. Skips the pipe entirely. It's a victory for Kimmy and Pixels, but...
Like I said, it's consistent, but it isn't quick. He was lucky there that Pixels made some big errors.
That's an interesting strat. Like, you should be hitting the pipe, but yeah.
I considered doing that myself when I was having a lot of trouble with the pipes. But yeah, it's definitely interesting to see that being done in competition.
It is definitely an interesting thing, but it doesn't matter anyway. Pixels and Kimmy have that speed on the pipes where they're able to get themselves to first place. They've got a handy lead right now. But, like, Kimmy and Pixels right now have a 5-point lead. And so they know that that's just how it has to be, but...
Yeah, I mean, the 3 points Skux Deluxe have here, they're good enough to earn, to always have points, whoever they're versing right now, I think. And Dynasty, that doesn't take anything away from the brilliance they have on this map.
Yeah, they are brilliant. There's full stop. Not even brilliant on this map, they're just brilliant players. And they're proving it by getting 3 map wins, because they're about to hit this identity cleanly. I'm calling it now, there's no caster curse. Everything's going to go perfectly. See, okay. Pixels, come on. Come on, Pixels. The J-Swag getting through the pipes cleanly. That's going to be second for him. Pixels able to get the ending.
Oh, Bywhack.
That's a victory. So close to sniping, but Bywhack unable to recover. That's a victory. That's Dynasty. That's 3-0. We move on.
Yeah, and a finish from Bywhack will mean that I think everybody got through. There were no DNFs on Aero pipes, which is impressive enough, but yeah, Dynasty are on another level, and particularly on that map, Skux Deluxe had no chance. Maybe you're right. Maybe that is why the strat came out for the high flying action. Potentially,
I guess we'll just have to see what that is. But for the most part, then we're heading into Flip of Faith. This is a map we have not seen yet today. And oh, I am keen for it.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be an interesting one. Flip of Faith. We haven't had it today yet, and it's definitely one of your favorites.
Oh, it's 100% one of my favorites. It's such a beautiful map. Like, it's got like an identity almost directly at the start. Like,
yeah,
you hit a couple of nice corners, and suddenly, boom, big jump. It's there.
Yeah.
But as we do get started,
I've had a lot of fun on this one as well, actually.
But yeah, straight up, look at that, big jump. And then straight away, hard flip. J-Swag hitting it cleanly, though. That's good for him. But Pixels is right behind. Bywhack's there as well. Kimmy's going to try and push his way forward to deny Bywhack and potentially just make this a tie. Pixels landing does not help him as we do head through this water drift. It's looking in favor of J-Swag on this map, but I'm guessing we'll just have to see.
Here we come across now through the plastic sections and the grass. That transition actually a lot tougher than it looks to carry speed through. Pretty hard to mess up, but definitely need to do it well. What a landing from Bywhack, and gets the victory here. Nearly misses the finish line. Incredible transition.
Incredible transition from him. And J-Swag bringing up the back, who we saw at the front. This is going to be a tie still, but A tie to start out with is going to be handy for Skux.
Well, now Skux are going to need a map win here if they want to look good, at least on paper, against Dynasty. We already know that they can rack up against them, but it's so hard. The consistency just needs to be slightly higher from Dynasty, and no matter how good Skux Deluxe are, they're not going to find that map win, even if they find round wins.
What they're not going to find is the platform, apparently. Kimmy bonking the edge and going off. But J-Swag gets a rough landing. It's going to be Pixels moving forward. Kimmy's still trying to recover, but unable to make the jump. It's going to be Biowak trying to push forward on Pixels, but Pixels is currently holding the lead right now. J-Swag very close in pursuit. It's Pixels at the front. Just trying to run away from Biowak. Biowak crashes. There's the runaway you're looking for. J-Swag is now trying to catch up to Pixels, and it's going to be close, but Pixels is just a margin ahead. He's holding himself steady as we go into the flip. J-Swag flips it low. Pixels clean through it. Gets himself the win. Kimmy is trying to recover, but he's too far behind at this point. He's not going to get the finish.
I didn't see what happened to Kimmy, but he is 32 seconds behind. I don't know where that time went for him, unfortunately, but it is going to be a tie, yeah.
It's a combination of not being able to hit the jump and not being able to hit the jump.
Yeah, and you mean that in two different ways, and I love that. No,
I mean it the same way. He literally did not hit the jump. That's all it came down to. He tried so many times, but every time he was just slightly too short. He'd hit either the first one or the second one. Sorry, he'd hit the first one, mess up the second one, or just fail the first one, and that wasn't anything.
Perfect transition on there. Gains him a lot of speed and gets the second very, very nicely as well. Pixels up the front leading this though, and has been so consistent on everything. Biowak gets a very unlucky little bounce and touches side of wheels, pulls him up massively.
That's not good for him, but Kimmy is fighting his way forward. J-Swag in that second position. Biowak is still trying to catch up, but Pixels is just a margin ahead. Kimmy's going to try and turn this into an ace in their favor. But J-Swag's just got the line he's looking for here as we do head towards the flip of Faith identity. Funnily enough, the flip of Faith. As we go up on it, we've got a bunch of clean runs. Biowak gets the snipe, and that's going to be another tie for them.
Biowak's transition on that final, on the actual flip of Faith, is revoltingly good and consistent. He transitions on so low, so early that he can pick up that speed and send it through, and almost always has the potential for that snipe.
Indeed. And we do have another result from another match. Ferox managed to 4-0 TM New India. So we do say goodbye to Divyansh and Neumad as they are out. We will be seeing Planetary Goose and Sved move on to the top 4, which should be played tomorrow. Right now, it's going to be Dynasty and Skux fighting it out here. Whoever wins this moves on. Whoever doesn't, say goodbye. They are out.
Now, Biowak still chasing up J-Swag this time, though, and Skux Deluxe in with a chance at an ace here. Kimmy trying to fight in that. He's in the pack between the two of them again, but he may lose it here if he's not careful. Has to get good transitions up onto the grass section, and as you hit that plastic, hold speed through that. That is so key, and it is so much harder to do than it looks.
Kimmy just got a mad amount of airtime, but it doesn't matter anyway. Biowak is trying to get it close, too close. Kimmy goes for the snipe and actually gets himself first place. That's going to be another draw.
Biowak has gone for that every time, and that's the first time he's actually screwed it up so far. So we talked about how Skux Deluxe can meet up against Dynasty, how they hold their own. That is 4 ties. You cannot deny that anymore if you ever did in the first place. But it is only going to take the difference of 1 win here to make a difference, even if we tie the rest of the way.
Look, in the end, it's like when you're sharing cookies with your siblings. It's 1 for you, 1 for me. 1 for you, 1 for me. Now I'm taking the rest of the cookie jar and walking away with this win, and that's what Dynasty's going to be trying to do right now. But Pixel's not having a great time on the jump. He's at the back of the pack.
There's an uneven amount of cookies in the jar, and you know you're getting the last one. That's all. You started the count. It's like paper, scissors, rock. You know where it's coming out.
Look, you reach into the jar and you pull out the crumbs, and that's TM New India.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, I mean, not. You know where it's landing.
It's literally eeny, meeny, miny, mo. when it comes to this identity, though, because we have the players inside each other. Biowak taking the low one. Too low.
Yeah.
Kimmy taking another round.
I saw that immediately.
Pixels. Oh, if Biowak... Oh, yeah, it's another tie.
You only have to have done this map and completed it a couple of times to have the muscle memory to know when that is too low. And immediately I'm like, no, Biowak is gone. This is... I thought it was going to be a disaster, but fortunately for Skux Deluxe, there were mistakes on Dynasty side as well.
All I'm saying is if they keep this pace up, we could be looking at an insane scoreline where it's just one for you, one for me. It literally comes down to can someone... Like, if Kimmy can keep holding paces at the front, that's fine. But if Pixels even gets third, if he can beat one of them, they win. But...
Biowak struggling more than usual here, though. Almost didn't make those jumps.
Pixels struggled more than usual and ended up on his roof. Oh, dear. Not good. Kimmy gets an unfortunate clip, and that's going to be him pushed back. Biowak able to try and make a move on Kimmy and overtake. But Kimmy's got that little bit of pace to try and hold it. Biowak's making a move on Kimmy as they go into the grass.
Biowak, that transition.
That was smooth as we do go into the identity. We've seen Kimmy hit it better than Biowak, but will Biowak actually hit his low jump? The answer is yes.
That is so perfect. Nearly clips a tire, but does take it out. And not only that, it takes out the ace for Skux Deluxe. An incredible win there. They've looked plausible for it because of Biowak's low finish time and time again. J-Swag has just been consistent, and it only took one of the teams making a mistake, and it happened to be Dynasty.
The cookie jar. They took all the cookies out of the cookie jar and said, no, they're ours. But,
you're gonna sing the song, Who Took the Cookie from the Cookie Jar? We know, it's Skux Deluxe. We finally found the answer.
The answer
to the age-old nursery rhyme.
Who took the cookie out of the cookie jar? Skux Deluxe. Oh, God. But J-Swag gets a flip. No way. That's going to be Pixels and Kimmy first and second. Biowak needs to deny them, or it's going to be an ace, and we go back to the cookie jar.
They're refilling as we speak.
They're going to Woolies, buying that bag of, like, dollar cookies, and going, come on, we got to keep this going. Get us the cookies. Get us the cookies. As we go.
Biowak didn't get the miracle transition he did last time, but he might get the ending big error. Biowak actually has the chance of the snipe.
No.
Oh, it's so close. 70 milliseconds off.
It's going to be a tie. Skux Deluxe 1 point away. They took their lead early, and they're going to hold it at a 69 scoreline.
0.07 of a second there, and Biowak could have had yet another win, but it is still a lead for Skux Deluxe, and that means they continue to push forward. They are one away, and this is going to be so crucial to their run through the rest of the maps if they can take one here. They are one away from a full sweep, and it looks to be that they will deny it.
Literally, all they got to do is ace to keep themselves in the competition. Anything else, and Skux will take this map and make it a 3-1 as we move, I believe, into agility dash after this. So you can see Pixels is going to have to push harder, but Biowak is trying to make sure he can stay near the front as well.
Oh.
That clip's not going to be handy. Kimmy's going to push his way forward. J-Swag is able to keep up with Apac. It's now 1, 2, 3, and 4, all within eye shot as Pixels makes his way onto the grass. Kimmy close behind. J-Swag with more speed. But Biowak's trying to make the move there. It all comes down to the identity. If Pixels and Kimmy hit this clean, we go to another draw. And it does look like Kimmy and Pixels hit that clean. Low jumps. 1 and 2. We go back to the cookie jar.
And it is 9-9, as close as it gets before overtime. Are we going to go back to it? Is it happening?
The cookie jar's there. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
They've both got their hand in the cookie jar. Skux took it
At least
early.
on the lid.
Yeah.
It's opening.
Yeah, they're slowly cracking it, being like, come on, I want the cookies. But Dynasty went and tipped all the cookies left in the jar in their favor. And it literally comes down to this one round that could decide everything. Kimmy gets a rough landing. That's not going to be handy, but Pixels just has to keep the pace there. And it will still be a draw. Kimmy's got a lot of recovery to do, and Pixels just has to hold himself steady. But J-Swag is ready to pounce on any mistakes. As we do head through the dirt, J-Swag is getting a really wide line to try and keep as much speed as possible. Hits the reactor through the grass, gets it close, Pixel's still ahead, trying to keep a close line, gets a good line onto the grass.
Oh,
Bywhack clips, and that's going to be J-Swag, the only way to stop it. Taking a lot of grass, he touched too much grass, and we know that's a problem by now. Bywhack moving forward to the
mistake
position.
from Pixels.
No mistakes there.
Oh
Bywhack makes a mistake. Kimmy's got to try and recover this. It's not going to be enough, but it's got to be him moving into the third position. That's the win, and that's got to be Dynasty taking out the match in a shocking ending where J-Swag took too much grass.
And J-Swag as well, the one player who had consistently made that jump no matter what, even if it was slow, making that mistake at the end there. Skux Deluxe go down after a fantastic round, weren't able to keep it up. They crumble under the pressure, and Dynasty take it home.
Congratulations to Dynasty. They are going to be moving forward, which does mean we do have to say goodbye to Skux Deluxe, one of the brand new duos that did take part. We do say goodbye to them, but we are going to move straight into some more Trackmania action for you guys. We have Asia Overdrive versus Antic, and it is a good match to watch. Keep in mind, Spider and Starlight, we haven't seen them yet. Top Singapore players versus Antic, and we know Antic could pull something out with some miracles, you know.
Yeah, I think Antic have a good shot at this one.
Hey, look, flip of faith.
And here we are again. It is 2-2 as we head in as well in maps. 2-4 on this with Antic in the lead. Careless Cobra heading up the front.
That is a good sign, except both of them messed it up. Spider and Starlight 1 and 2. They're going to be handy on this. Careless Cobra now making the identity, and that's going to be him in third position. Kelva also making it. He's still at the back, but it's Starlight and Spider up the front. All they got to do is hit this clean, and they are going to take it back to 5-4 in their favor. Keep in mind, 2 maps to 2 right now. This map is going to make it 3-2, so they know that they've got to fight hard to try and stop the other team from extending their lead in maps.
Yeah, Asian Overdrive look like they should have this one in the bag as long as there's no big errors in the Flip of Faith itself. Looks like a good transition from Spider, following in second from Starlight there, and it will be a ace here from Asia Overdrive.
Not a good result for Antic. Antic know they've got to fight harder. They're moving 1 point behind. Kelva almost missing. He's giving me a heart attack, I swear.
I didn't even realize that registered for a second. I was very worried.
We would have panicked and gone, oh no! But that is going to be Asia Overdrive moving themselves into the lead. Who do you think's going to win? Asia Overdrive or Antic? Go.
I've got Antic's back on this one. Asia Overdrive, though, just proved that they have good potential into this one. Antic, I think if they can just nail this down, not make the mistakes, and play this for consistency alone, they should be able to take this out.
Look, that's fair, but with Starlight's mistake there, that's not going to be good. Antic are now currently holding the lead. Spider is going to have to fight his way forward, and by the performance that we've seen so far, Antic currently first and second. I'm going to agree. I think Antic has this, and they're going to eliminate Asia Overdrive, but it's going to be a close fight.
Well, they've got 2 games to do it left as well. Great transition from Spider. Actually just catches everybody in one corner. That is how important that transition is that I was talking about. How tricky it is to really carry the speed through. Even if you think that you have, it can be faster. Spider proves it, snipes it, and turns it into a draw.
Spider was able to make such a powerful move there, able to keep as much ground time as possible. And that helps. It's still 6-5 in Asia Overdrive's favor. Antic is slowly slipping with it, and they've got to make sure that they can overtake Spider to stop this from happening.
Spider again now coming out, looking like he was a little behind on that start, actually. But we're not going to have too much of an effect on this. Only maybe 0.1 behind, but coming through these sections, it is going to come down to, oh my goodness, the consistency of being able to make these jumps, and Spider has made the mistake already. Spider's mistake isn't handy, but Starlight is still there ready to fight. He is a little bit behind, 0.3 separating them, but he lost a millisecond there, so he's keeping solid pace overall. He is catching on them very slowly though, 40 millisecond gain off that one. As we do head into the grass, it's got to be nice lines from those two. Starlight able to try and make the push there. Kelva takes some penalty grass, and Starlight's able to overtake. He moves into first position
Will he be able to hold it steady into the identity? Gets the clean flip. Cobra knew he messed up. He had to go low. That's another snipe from Asia Overdrive, and that's going to be another draw.
Yeah. Kelva actually messed that up pretty badly. No, it's not a draw. It's going to be a win here for Asia Overdrive. The victory goes their way because Kellis Cobra's reset held him back a long way. Spider made an error earlier, but he did make the jump. It just held him back away. So that reset was more than enough to annihilate the run for Antic.
That is not so good for Antic. They are now 4 points behind Asia Overdrive. If they just get a victory here, it's GG. They could even get an ace, but it does appear that Antic have the better lines through the start as we see Spider getting a better landing and able to move into first place. Starlight in close pursuit there. Kelva having a bit of a lag spike.
Yeah. Kelva is absolutely gone right now. Has just reappeared in the middle of the track. Yeah, Kelva is teleporting.
He is teleporting right now. That's not a good sign, but we do have Careless Cobra and Spider there. Currently dueling at the front. Spider gets a better line out of this, and Cobra's got the pace to try and keep up. Starlight's going to be trying to... Is it that transition? Yeah, I'd say so. But as we get to the ending, we do have Starlight going a little bit too low. Doesn't make a difference anyway. That's Spider 1, Cobra 2, Starlight. All he's got to do is hit the end. That's your victory. That's map 3 for them.
Yeah, that's the second time responsible for a win for Asia Overdrive that came out of Spider, just getting that transition onto the grass and cleanly with momentum forward instead of mid-turn onto the concrete again. That gets him the speed he needs for the overtake, gets him ahead before the identity, and just makes the map theirs.
It's handy for them. They're going to be moving 3-2 up in the series, and as we head into the next map, which we don't know, because we joined after the pick ban, I'm hoping it's Agility Dash.
You're going to be happy, but it's not going to be Agility Dash. Looking to be Reps.
Reps! Okay, I'll look up Reps. Reps is a beautiful map. For those who don't know, Reps was designed by Kiesler, one of the greatest competitive mappers in the game. It's a nice, tight, like, I wouldn't even say transitional. There's a lot of tight lines, and there's always a correct line. And you can see that in these rounds, that these players are trying to stick to that one line. And there's not much room for that, so that's going to be really nice for them.
Here we come again, Spider over the plastic early.
We are
into D.
We're in a pause.
We are on pause.
I think we're just double checking if Kelva's internet's okay.
Yeah, it's Kelva. Just making sure the internet issues aren't reappearing here, but it seems to be that Kelva is back in this and looking at consistent internet, so we are ready to go.
We should be ready to go. We'll just see what's happening with that. There could be another thing going on, but I'm guessing we'll just have to see. Yep, they're just checking for issues. Everything seems to be good, so we will jump back into this. Resuming now. Keep in mind, 3-2 Asia Overdrive. One more map, and they could be moving forward.
Here we go again. Antic had been even up until that last map, and it may have all been cost by those internet issues. Kelva now racing fine. Could be the map maker here as well. Coming around that corner with a little bit of a slow line. Oh, makes a huge error in an easy part of the track. That is not what you want to see.
That is not a good sign for them, but Cobra is the only one who could stop them. Spider and Starlight are just having a ball at the front. Cobra takes a little bit of slowdown there, but this is not a good sign for them. 1.5 seconds behind Spider. We still have the identity to play for, but that kind of margin early on does not look good.
Yeah, and in reps, the identity rarely is going to be the difference maker when it comes to multiple second gaps here. I don't think that it has it in it where the Careless Cobra is definitely going to be hoping for a large mistake from Asia Overdrive, but they know now that they only have to be consistent here. They do not need to... Oh my goodness, Starlight did it.
Okay.
Careless Cobra is first. Takes it out. And it's an ace. No, Antic get an ace out of what should have been a guaranteed ace for Asia Overdrive.
I had to take a moment to process what just happened. Because I was just like, okay, there was one crash. Wait, where's the other guy? Wait, Cobra won? Where'd Kelva come from? What's going on here? What the hell?
That is brutal to watch. I mean, we have not seen the evidence that the major mistakes to hold you back multiple seconds like that had been fixed by the identity on this track before, but there we go. 2 in a row just taken down by the identity. It might just be different for these teams, I guess.
Yes. I guess that's the case. It's such an odd situation just to see the guy who was in 4th, a significant margin behind, managed to catch up to the identity and take second thanks to mistakes like this.
Yeah.
Between these
you do see that mistake be made when the pressure is on, when you've got your opponents chasing up on you. But when you have the time to do the identity the safe way, it is not that hard an identity.
It is not that hard of an identity. It is one of the simpler ones, but it's also like you can mess up like Cobra did and just crash into the barrier. You can mess up like Starlight did and fall off the platform. Helva getting close to the edge but still able to make it. It's got to be Starlight and Cobra to see who gets third and fourth, but Starlight's a bit behind. Cobra actually hits a clean lead, lines himself up. That's going to be a draw for them. 4-1 still in Antic's favor.
Yeah, Antic making that draw counts, and they have been lucky to be here off of some big mistakes, but Asia Overdrive, that just means they have to pick up the game, right? They've got to be consistent through that final sector of this course, and the track has been brutal to them so far. Antic might even be able to take this back to a 3-3 on the map count.
I mean, 3-3 on the map count's going to be interesting because then we get map 7, and it is a tiebreaker. But off this start, it is looking like Asia Overdrive are currently ahead by a margin, 2.3 seconds separating them and Kelva, who's trying to catch up. But 2.6, the margin's gaining. Asia Overdrive seem to have this round, and it comes to the identity. We did see them both fail, and they could fail again, but we'll just have to see.
They have to know this time to play it safe, right? They just need to do the identity. They don't need to nail it, and that is the difference. You shouldn't really be able to mess this up badly enough to cost yourself this ace. And it shouldn't have been last time either, but here we go. Spider coming into it now. That's the transition in right. Still looking for that speed. I suppose you do want to hold some speed just to keep your muscle memory right for the fast lines, but there it is, the ace coming in from Asia Overdrive.
That's the ace for Asia Overdrive, bringing it back to level pegging once again. They are ahead on maps, but with a level scoreline, it's still anyone's game to play for. We've seen an ace from both sides, so let's see how we go there. At the start, it does appear that Starlight took a bad line, and he is going to bonk down. You see the start being good for Antic, but then the end of the map just seems to go in Asia Overdrive's favor.
And I don't know if I agree. Antic has taken some massive time losses so early that the rest of the map has been easy for Asia Overdrive. Sure, there's been time gained back by Antic, but Asia Overdrive, they just don't... It's not an issue to give them that time back because they're so far ahead.
Okay, that's fair. I will agree with that. I see your sentiment and I raise you in agreement. But it's definitely interesting to see how it goes, especially on this map, because even though it's one of the more consistent maps around, there are some tight lines that you have to take. Slight divergence can be the complete decider here.
Yeah, for a fast line, this is a tough track. Absolutely, I agree entirely. But it's when you don't need to put that pressure on yourself, that jump there from Spider being the issue a lot of the time, and it costs them yet again. It costs them in the form of an ace. Antic up again.
Antic up again. Starlight couldn't make it to the identity in time to try and make a difference. 16 seconds behind the finish. That's just unfortunate for him, but could Asia Overdrive ace it? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. They've done so already, and they could have done so again, but it continues to be that risk it for the biscuit factor when they're already ahead. They have to identify these situations where they are well ahead, don't need to go for that risky jump, and it's been that jump time and time again that costs them. So they need to get out ahead again. Spider still doing that job again now. Just, if they have that time, don't risk it.
It's one of those things that, like, especially when you're knowing that you're a map behind, you see that you're on an even scoreline, it's like you need to risk. But knowing you could risk and potentially lose the round, you don't want to risk. But you do.
Asia Overdrive's not a map behind. They're a map
No,
ahead.
No, I was talking about Antic.
Yeah, that's true. And Antic do have to risk it just about every time because they have been those times behind. But Asia Overdrive are the ones that are taking the risk for no apparent reason.
Maybe they want times.
Apparently, they're going for world records in competition. There we go. Spider makes the jump cleanly with time to spare once again, but Starlight well behind will guarantee that this is still going to be. Yeah, that's going to be the draw.
That's going to be the draw. I do think it is one of those things where you have that mentality of, like, you need to keep that consistency going just to make sure you get the points. But then looking at your situation and going, oh crap, I need to risk this. I need to play out of my mind to catch up and stop them from taking the entire match away. And with that, Antic are 3 points ahead, and it literally comes down to a victory for them. But Asia Overdrive...
Antic, even with taking the risks, have been more consistent than Asia Overdrive. So I think that comes down to them having that in the bag. So Asia Overdrive, it might even come down to the mental of this as well, that they just feel the pressure even though they're up, and they're choking on it.
Yeah, and I think it's one of the things you can see here in this round. Spider is a little bit behind. He is trying to catch up, but Antic are too far ahead. Starlight trying to take a better drift, but it doesn't make a difference. Antic have that margin, and Spider's actually trying to make the moves right now to stop them from getting a potential ace and taking out the map as we do head into the grass.
This is definitely a better look for Antic than we've seen through this section of the map, but now Spider doesn't have the option. He has to go for the jump. He has to secure it, and he screws it up one more time, and it looks to be bad for Asia Overdrive. Antic have aced it and taken the map back. It is 3-3.
That is really unfortunate for Asia Overdrive. They could have put the nail on the coffin and said, that's all, we're moving forward. But now we go to map 7. It is 3-3, and this is the close fight we're looking for.
Spider might want to go back and train on that particular jump a few more times before the next time they're forced to play on that one. But that was fantastic to watch. Map 6 has gone incredibly, and now Antic back in this.
That is going to be a good sign, but we do move forward. This is the tiebreaker. This is the final map. It's all decided. Who will move forward, who will say goodbye and have to go back to practice. We know one duo, and that's not enough practice.
Here we go on the warm-up. Spider has so much consistency with speed through regular portions of the track. It does seem the little tricks maybe that do get Spider in the long run, but on a track like this, I see Spider doing very well and very consistently.
That is one of those things that this map is 100% the consistency at the end. We had to pace through reps, and reps, yeah, it's a kind of hard jump, but we are literally going into a map where pace is everything on the ending. You have to take that at full speed. If you try and slow down, you're not going to make your jumps.
Here we go again. Spider in second to Starlight, so a good look for Asia Overdrive in the first round of this map. Agility Dash has proved troublesome to a few people, particularly through the identity at the end. Do we see them clutch it up? Straight through the pylons now and into the sharp turn. Good early break from Spider, and they should be able to carry some massive speed through the fast section.
The interesting thing as well is we've got the results from the other match with Vobi and Mijiki. They too are moving to map 7. Mijiki could provide the upset for Vobi and wipe them out early if they could pull through on this final map. Right now, Asia Overdrive is having a field day with this map. Kelva is trying to keep up. Cobra had a pretty rough start, and he's trying to just catch up. But Asia Overdrive... What was that?
Mijiki have made me a fan. I'm happy to hear that's gone to game 7.
That's a really good sign as well. Yeah, Mijiki, you know, losing to Dynasty, and that's a rough line from Kelva. Starlight and Spider.
I don't know.
Look at that. Ace to start this round off. They are looking good, and this could be the start of something amazing for Asia Overdrive.
Not a terrible finish for Kelva there either, but Asia Overdrive just clean with it on. Agility Dash by the looks of it. That finish is so tough, and they made it look easy.
Indeed. And this match and the Vobi match are absolutely insane because This match has Asia Overdrive and Antic. Chaos Cobra and Kelva were top 4 in their last one, and Asia Overdrive were just outside of top 4. So this is really their rematch to see who actually makes top 4. In the other match, we've got Mijiki who came 3rd and Vobu who won. If Mijiki provide the upset, that's huge. It's the 3rd place going, hey, nah, you're not taking this regional, and stealing that away from you. This is huge gameplay right now.
It's absolutely massive, but Antic have to be able to come back into this if it's going to be more exciting as well. Spider currently in 1st place, but Chaos Cobra coming through, good lines, good speed, has to break early on this corner and get that turn in. Does so well, but still trailing just behind Spider. It's going to come down to the identity.
It always comes down to the identity on this one. You can have pace for the rest of the map. You might make a small clip here and there, but be able to catch up. The identity on this one is the decider. Considering how hard it's... Okay, never mind. Starlight went off the side of the track, so we don't talk about that. But the identity is definitely the decider here. If you can hit that identity clean and fast, it's GG. Kelva's just taking a clip as well. It's going to be Cobra trying to hold pace with Spider, praying Spider makes a mistake through this, and hoping he can hit it cleanly. As he hits the identity, Spider hits 1st jump clean. 2nd jump lands a bit wide, but able to recover. Cobra goes in the wrong angle and he's gone. Kelva is able to keep up though, get himself 2nd place. Starlight able to push forward very slowly, get himself the victory there. Cobra not able to make that jump, and that is going to be 5-1 in Asia Overdrive's favor.
Yeah, this first jump in the from platform to platform in the identity there is so tough to do at speed because you have to, while in air, already be turning right so that you're facing downhill when you land. And that is a narrow margin for error. If you turn down too early, you just don't make the jump at all.
The other notable one, because that is definitely one of the hardest parts of like the fact that the identity is like that, but also after the loop in the full speed section, you've then got a drift where you've got to try and basically play a game of chicken. How far can I go with full speed before I need to hit the drift? So it's a skill thing. It's definitely a skill thing.
It is, and it comes down to a lot of practice as well. I mean, you know exactly where those limits are if you've got the hours in, but both these teams have been cranking that out. The practice is there, the skill is there. It's just coming down to Antic having to pick it up that little bit.
I agree. I thought you had a further point on that. That's all good. I appreciate it. But I don't know what happened with Starlight. He's just gone. He's just went to the back.
Yeah, Starlight just not taking the right lines through here. Antic have just had consistency issues on this map, and Starlight may be able to catch back up on this. That's another error here.
Not with that.
Still, we have seen time and time again, I think it's Kelva with the issues on the identity here. So Starlight with the chance here to take it back, but that is a good identity. My goodness, actually fantastic out of Antic. They're going to get the ace.
That was really good. You saw the crash there by, I believe, was Spider, who ran into that CP and parked himself up. He had to try and recover it, but that's handy for Antic. They are one step closer, but there's a point difference, and that point is what scares them the most, because 6 points is 2 aces. 5 points is an ace and a victory. So it's so close.
Somebody just called you Adam from Vivid League, and I can't unhear it. That's fantastic.
I'm trying to remember who Adam is.
Adam is the tall, skinny one.
Oh, wow. Okay.
With the tall hair. Yeah.
I see that now. I hate it. Thank you, chat. We much appreciate it. The chat's always so good to get the hype going for these teams. So you have
and
all
the casters, apparently.
Oh yeah, they always have fun with the casters. But seeing like the support for Asia Overdrive and Antic, seeing like Vobi, Mijiki, all those like team names in chat and all the support, you get all the hype going. And chat is what makes it better for the casters. Because as nice as it is to be able to cast this, it would be a completely different experience if I didn't see chat.
Yeah, I mean, as long as I'm not Rowan, we're fine. Here we go again. Antic now with a good chance as Starlight pushes through, though. It's Spider out ahead. Careless Cobra is not far behind. In fact, might be able to make a difference here, but no, as they enter the identity, it's both members of Asia Overdrive out front and a clean finish for both of them. Both sides of this match, Antic and Asia Overdrive, able to pull out these aces time and time again. This is going to be over quick.
Honestly, like, seeing what, I don't know if you know, but the penalty dirt there, the penalty grass, obviously bad, don't touch grass. But if you take airtime on that, you have so much more speed heading into that. And you could see Starlight make the push past Cobra by taking airtime and was just able to hit the identity. That's the difference. And that's the stuff you get to see here in the Apac regionals, is seeing that, like, skill difference where it's literally take the grass versus take some airtime. And that's the decider in the rounds, not just a crash.
Now an early lead from Asia Overdrive again here. Could end this, as Antic have to push their way through now. They have no option to stay in this. Only 2 points needed. An ace would win it. In fact, a victory would win it for Asia Overdrive. This is incredibly tight stuff. Careless Cobra making some moves though.
That's
Maybe
not
able to hold a draw.
Not good for Starlight. He did take a small clip there. And Spider's just got to hold himself at the front. We do have the result from the other match. Vobi.
Oh, Careless Cobra.
Careless Cobra made a mistake. That's not good. I was just talking about Vobi Cobra. Vobi managed to win 4-3 in a really close match. So we do say goodbye to Mijiki, but damn, it was a close fight.
Cobra coming over that ridge really slow. The knife not benefiting Antic here. Calvo is the only hope. Coming in behind, he's chasing up, but that is going to be it. As long as Starlight makes his through in third, that will be the game. Asia Overdrive taking it out. Careless Cobra still trying to make that transition at the end, but that is done.
Game over for Antic. We do say goodbye to them. They put up a very valiant fight, like ending up 4-3. And it comes down to agility dash. That was a really good performance from them, but Asia Overdrive will be moving forward into the top 4.
We should probably apologize. That was us. We picked Antic. It was the caster's curse. Asia Overdrive. The skill had nothing to do with it. It was all us.
My hands are up. I am innocent. There's nothing wrong here. Antic did put up quite a strong fight, but in the end, it didn't make much of a difference. Asia Overdrive proving their dominance and why they should have been in the top 4 last time. Able to take on Antic and take them out at the last second. We will be moving into the bracket screen. And we will see now that Vobi and Asia Overdrive will be taking on each other tomorrow. And Ferox and Dynasty will be taking on each other tomorrow. I am so keen to see the Ferox and Dynasty one. That is a rivalry and a half right there.
Yeah, get them lined up. I want to see it. I want to see more. I want to see him do it on Aero pipes. Let's take it to Aero pipes for it.
Yes, Aero pipes. No, if it's a Dynasty match.
All 5 maps.
If it's a Dynasty match, they will pick Aero pipes. I almost guarantee it. That's just the map for Dynasty.
That is true. Yeah.
But at the same time, it has been a really, really good day of matches. We have some really close fights. We do say goodbye to Trackmania New India. Just then we said goodbye to Antic. Please remind me if I've forgotten who the others are.
To team...
Mijiki?
No practice.
And no practice, yes. And then Mijiki lost their match. We had some really close fights there, but in the end, what could you ask for? It's some good Trackmania, some really... Like, that top 8 had closer fights than the rest of the matches.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that they really were pushing for it. I mean, you do expect it to get closer as you get to the end of these brackets, but it was a really fantastic effort from everybody involved. I'm definitely enthused by this. I am definitely ready to come back tomorrow for a bit more.
Indeed. We don't have any more matches today, unfortunately. I know you guys love the Trackmania action, but if you stick around, we should have the EU Regionals coming up later tonight, so that's going to be an exciting one there. We've got some exciting matches tomorrow. We've got the top 4 competing, and we're going to be seeing who we're going to crown as the 2508 Cup champion. Will it be Vobi? Will it be Dynasty? Will it be Ferox? Or will it be Asia Overdrive? We will have to see. But as we're heading off, is there anything you'd like to add, Gex?
Just first time on stream. It has been an absolute pleasure working with you, working with the guys in the background as well. A pleasure getting to know the teams and everything as well, and the game in a much more professional category from what I'm used to. So it has been a fantastic day, a lot of laughs and a lot of skill on display. So very, very keen to come back.
We just say the word Aero pipes and that will make us giggle for the rest of the night. But it's been a lot of fun having you on, Gex. You will be seeing Gex tomorrow, so you're not going to be seeing SRK come back. It will be Gex. He is here for the long haul, and we do love and appreciate the casting you have. But signing off for now, I've been your host, your Thunder from Down Under, your beautiful Australian caster, Edamame TV. Joining me, Mr. Gex, the absolute legend himself. And we will see you guys tomorrow.